Good morning, good afternoon, happy Sunday to you all, and I salute you from my location. This is Biafra TV, greeting you and saluting all the fellow Biafrans, and once again say happy Sunday to you all. As you are joining me, please, as I welcome you, endeavor to welcome one another by you liking and sharing the program. That is true. That means you are welcoming Biafrans or friends of Biafrans to join our movement or come across our program to listen to us. So I welcome you this wonderful afternoon from my location as we are going to roll together in this wonderful program that we are going to discuss issues of Biafra, because we must fight our fight. We are not going to relent or wait for anybody to come and do this fight for us. And we are the one looking for this freedom, so we determine how we fight our fight, and we decide how we are going to achieve our Biafra. That is why it is very imperative at this stage that we are into to understand what we are into really. We are the one to liberate ourselves. Nobody to do it for us. We are the one to do it for ourselves. So if anybody is telling you any other thing outside, that person is not being sincere, that person is not being genuine to you. So that is why what we are doing, despite that the Biafran people has never crossed this road that we are into today. This is our first time, so a lot of things will turn around, a lot of things will happen in the movement that we are into. But one thing that you must know is that what we are doing, that many peoples in the past has passed through that way. We owe nobody any apology. We owe nobody any explanation. We owe nobody, oh, what this thing you are saying is not happening, never happened before. No. We don't have that time. What we do is how we decide, and things we look from other people that have passed through this way to know if through this way that we as a Biafran people, can we achieve it? Has it happened in that way before to other peoples? Then if it happens, then we will continue. I pause on this junction and I said, happy Sunday to Love Day. Happy Sunday to Easy Way, my brother. Abarosia, you're always here. Thank you so much. Always, always. Thank you so much for being here this wonderful afternoon. Happy Sunday to you all. One love. Let us not doubt the government. Let us not think there is other way to do it. Ndeba is mebro one fibo. Na ka eze shiwe share. Abrok eze ozo ge siwe share. In English language, the way the president rule, the out president and the incoming, they almost have different ways to rule. So this is how it is. This is how it is. Ugochukwu, Madu, you're welcome. Thank you so much. I salute you. So please, as you join us, please endeavor to like and share, because we really want to hammer or hit on this issue of our ID card. Why this ID card of the USB is important to every Biafran who lives in diaspora. Because there is things we, despite fundraising, there is another things we have to do to show the world that this, our government, that we are prepared, that we want to exit. In the Montevideo Convention of 1933, there is a place that this ID card occupies. There is a place under the international law, the ID card of a new country that lack international recognition. There is where it works, and that is how we can use it to help US government to move forward. When somebody come and tell you, oh, Nandi cannot say this, Nandi cannot say that, ask that person, how did Maghandi come outside from prison? Ask the person, how did the Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya come outside from prison? Ask that person, can you tell me how Nelson Mandela comes out? Ask the person, how Rahman of Bangladesh come outside from prison. These are the questions you will ask that fool called Chimezie, the criminal, who want to manipulate his way, who want to form a gang that will be kidnapping the Biafran people. Tell me that president you have had, that his people in the country of oppressors, that they have Taizi that will be taking them to go and see the who is inside. Could you imagine such a human being in this present kidnapping Nigeria country? In this present Nigeria death sentence to every indigenous people. Do you know that anybody who enters that Taizi to go and visit Mazen Kano, he will not make it alive. Either he's in the prison or they detain him or they kill him. I don't know how people talk without thinking. I don't know how people reason, because I promise you, DOS has called you, sit you down, address you. Chimezie, I ask you, how did Maghandi come out from prison? What triggers he released? Do you know? Do you think that he will come outside? You think that with that shenanigan, with this manipulation, with that damage control that DOS has sent to come and do can work? It can never work because you don't have a chain. I was watching you closely, and you see, I know that this is where you want to end up, and that is how your downfall begins. If that's number that woman, who is her to give number? Among all the people that have visited Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, nobody. Then you have to ask yourself a question. Biafrans, if anybody who is going to visit our leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in prison, do not contact that evil woman. Do not. Because that woman, they want to use her to kidnap Biafran peoples, to kidnap the sins of Biafrans. That is why you don't have to. Tell me that leader in the world, can he tell us how these 4 men I mentioned that was fighting to have a new country, they was taken before the new country emerged? How do they come outside is the question. What triggers their coming outside? And how do they regain their freedom? Our people are so naive, like the idiots who are writing garbage here. I never things our people are doing is undoable sometimes. No leader that is fighting for a new country that got arrested, that his people in the land of those who kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, those who colluded with Finland and arrest Obatobi, our prime minister, that this evil woman is telling our people, oh, when you are coming, we are going to present Taizi that when you come, you call it, you will enter. When the Fulanese mark that Taizi, they all has entered there, will be kidnapped and missed. And she only comes there and rant and shout. Nothing will happen. That is a place is where people go without nobody knowing that they are coming. And today, she's the legal luminary of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who gives advice, and who goes and who will not go, and who will not contact. Look at how mindset of this foolish woman that Satan has put on the spirit of Biafra has put him on the level to destroy her because of her evil plan. Oh yeah, money. This, my people, you must be. Biafrans are we are all intelligent. If any day you are going to visit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and eventually enter that boss or that Taizi that Chimezie is bringing out, That is end of you. That is end of you. The level we are into, right now, we are doing what people of India did. We are doing what people of Bangladesh did when the leader was arrested and put in prison. That is the level where we are. We are doing what people of Kenya did, people of South Africa, because something must trigger a release of a leader who is fighting for a new country. Number one is media pressure. The main number one of it is what? What we have achieved, which is redeclaration of United States of Biafra. These are the Jukes. Francis, you are welcome. Thank you so much. So at this stage that we are into, can that woman tell us what we can do? Visiting, so Mazi Nnamdi Kanu Palace remains in Sokoto, in prison. Is it what she's telling us at this 21st century? That people need to know what the other countries has done in the past to release their leader. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpanjoko, they are not the first people that have fought for the people to have a new country. They are not the first, and they're not going to be the last. Because after us, many people are going to come. Many countries will emerge from other different parts of this world. And our own case we use as one of the example, like the way we are reading the history of India, history of Bangladesh, history of Nelson Mandela, South Africa, history of Jomo Kenyatta. Many of them, like the history of Brazil, where a woman make a declaration of Brazil and what reason happens. These people are not thinking. The declaration of that new country is what brings them out, because automatically they have become the president of a new country under by force. And you cannot continue keeping a president of a new country in your custody. Jennifer, you are welcome. Thank you so much. Yes, that's what I'm saying. She's one of those who are working for one Nigeria. But Nanki Bazwa, Obera Kwakan Tipa Baja. The Biafran people, we have speak in one loud voice that the only thing we want is what? Our country. Nothing more than that. And there is nothing anybody can do. After all their noise, I must let you know that to understand that we are on the right track at this moment that we are into. On this movement that we are into, we are on the right track. And we are doing what America has done in their past. We are doing what Namibia, Ethiopia, name those countries in Africa you know today. There was a time they're like us. There was a time they was talking like us. There was a time America is on social media trying to let the world know that Great Britain is frustrating them, that Great Britain is killing them, that Great Britain is doing all kind of things to them. Charles, good morning. Happy Sunday. So that is what we are doing today. Ogolu, you're welcome. That is what we are doing today. Sorry, the network is somehow under attack. I can see. Joseph, you're welcome. Thank you so much. So what we are doing is what every other country in the past has done. There is a date, there is month, there is year. People are in the world, they become a new country. Some over 14 to 13 countries in this world was being declared by a woman, like what our DPM did on November 29, 2024 in Helsinki, Latvia, Finland. In the year 1822, in the year 1822, September 2nd, a woman declares Brazil as a country. Israel, in the year 1948, May 14, a woman declares Israel as a country. The first country that gives them recognition is Bahrain in Asia country. That was first country that recognized Israel as a country. They are not even member of the UN, but they are the one that faced them, like what Morocco did in 1776 when America declared their independence, when they decided to chase Great Britain away from their country. When that is a year. So our year has marked that our movement started, that we redeclared Biafra as a country this November the 29th, 2024. That is the G-Day. What of Congo? 1960. The Congo you are hearing to in Africa. What of Ghana? What of South Africa? After its regime, 1963. These are countries woman declares in this world that we are living in. What of Belarus that got their independence from Russia? 2020, a woman declares it as a country. What of Madagascar? 1990, a woman. What of Namibia? 1990, a woman. What of Salman the Principal? A woman. What of India? When Mahatma was inside, the first declaration of India was being made 1907 by a woman. When Mahatma and his second in command, like exactly what happened to us between Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, when these two men are inside, a woman pilot the affair. She was the one that declares India that our people are there today talking trash against UN government, against our declaration. A woman did it. What of Algeria in Africa? 1962, by a woman also. These are the countries in the world that women stood up when their leaders was arrested. All of these countries I mentioned, those that lead their movement was behind the bars, and the woman declares them. Are there not countries today? In Algeria, in Africa, is not a country. India is not a country. Sao Tome and the Principe is not a country. Namibia, Madagascar, Belarus, South Africa, Ghana, Congo, Israel, Brazil. These are the countries in the world that just a woman stand up and declare the way it was being declared like our own. Today, are there not countries that have been recognized by UN? When you are out there, you don't know what will bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. You don't know that what changed his status from a common criminal, from terrorist, from treason, from felony to everything is what? What ended up is what? The declaration that changed her status to become a prisoner of conscience, and also the president of all of University of Biafra, Robert Obie, the prime minister. Because you don't know the value. You don't know because we don't research. We don't check histories, because things that are happening to us happen. History is always repeating. History is always what? Repeating. Well, let me tell you the bad history of Ogenkere today that I repeated on Ogenkere's head. When the Congo are fighting for their freedom, the leader was being arrested. What happened? Those in the cabinet member did what? They removed him as the prime minister and used their hand, somebody elected himself in that position, like what Ogenkere did. Then what our DPM did is what people of India did. When the leader was inside, they never remove him as a leader. They maintain that he's the president of a new nation. They are like our own. We use Onyendu. That is why for me, I use that word that these people of the world understand very well. President for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because he's the one that draws our attention. Give us handed over to Obie. Obie, handed over to Ngozi Arabeze. Have you heard that Obie said, Ngozi Arabeze, you're no longer my surrogate? Ngozi Arabeze, I did not ask you to stop pretending the mandate anymore. Have you heard such a word? If you have heard such a word, please let me know. Have you, please, on the comment section, I want to know from my people on the comment section. Ife Diche, I see you, good morning. Have you heard from Odisema Obie the same way he said, Ngozi Arabeze, you are the surrogate? The same way he said, Ngozi Arabeze, protect the mandate. Have any of us has any other message that Obato Obie said? I don't know you. Don't protect the mandate anymore. Stop being my surrogate. Have you had that from Obato Obie? Why are you so stupid? Why are you not paying attention to the men that matter so much? My people. Yes, love day. The answer is no. The answer is what? Fully what? No. Yes. Have you heard from Matt Simon? But the same, this idiot Chimezie woman, he did not hear that Matt Simon said that no, that he prohibits anybody that is going to attack Matt Simon. Why did he not do the same way he not wrote it? Why did he not write it out again and give it to? You think you can do this your shenanigan and we will listen to, we are past that stage. You are making mockery of yourself. Chimezie. You are making mockery of yourself. Lolo neka Chimezie. You are making mockery of yourself, social media. Because we are smarter. We are keeping record 24 hours. Even in the courts, when Benjamin Madubugu mentioned him of Simon, we'll see how our leader look at him. The same way our prime minister look at Imam Maduabu, trying to tell him that they want to go the rest from the position. That they have attacked her, they have taken her to court. You see how Obato Obie look at Imam Maduabu. The same thing, then you will know. Because sometimes pictures, I spoke, is louder than the voice. Please, as you join us, please like and share the program, if you may. If the only way you can help us is to let me go viral is whenever you like the program and share it. That is how you are making the program to go viral, my people. If you're not joining us, there is a 3 dot in front of you. Click on that 3 dot. It will open. You will see like, you will see share. It is very important. So, my people, everything we are doing on this stage that we're into, we must pay attention. I just want to take my time to narrate the issue and end it here. Then, let us go into what brings me here. Why the United States of Biafra ID card is very important to everybody that lives in the Diaspora. Why is it very important to Biafrans that live in abroad, all of us that live in the Diaspora? Why is that this ID card is important? And is it anything that the ID card contributed to the government of the USB? We must pay attention and listen. Because do not think that everything is child's play. Do not think that everything is just, hey, let them just be doing it now. Don't think in that way. That's why I said that many things has to change. Many things. And you cannot count them without counting one. Hope he knows that for sure. So the USB ID card, if you live in the Diaspora, despite how difficult it is very important. There is things that this thing is also you the result of recognition also. It's also help for what? For recognition. Despite there is some risk on it, but the betterment, the benefit is better than any other thing. Those who are asking you today not to take, Ugo 419. Ugo 419 has this USB ID card free of charge. You don't spend 1 naira. Adando, free of charge. You don't spend 1 naira. Those that have run away from this USB, all of them get this ID card free. Because in the name of they are into the government of the USB, the government then. And today, they don't want to take their own. Why can't you tell them, if you don't want me to have my own, then break your own open. Let me see that this is a useless ID card. And you keep your own. Then you don't want somebody to take his own. Thereby it's not name. Ajo mado fra or see akwabaji. Ajo mado got free bridge or see bridge break into 2 so others will not pass. That is what we go 247 and another arranger. These are what they are doing. Anybody who is attacking this USB ID card, they all have this ID card in their room. They have all the ID card in their room, but they don't want to have it. So let us go into this ID card. And for you to know how important it is for us to achieve this ID card at this first stage, listen to this, because it's very important. We must always come here to give you that message that is somehow that nobody can give to you.
Building de facto in practice, recognition is a slow, bottom-up process. When citizens of a new country like the United States of Biafra use their issued documents, they shift the status of their government from a, quote, political claim to an administrative reality. Here,
Listen. The ID card is what we are dealing this particular afternoon. Why the ID card is important and how the ID card can help USB on this movement that we are into. That is why. And also, like I told you, under the international law, there is a place particularly that this ID card, when you go into Montevideo Convention of 1933, there is a role of this ID card. Listen to this.
In international law, the act of a citizen holding and using an ID card from a newly declared country is more than just a personal choice. It is a legal brick in the wall of statehood. While the ID might not be accepted at an airport immediately, its importance lies in the Montevideo Convention, 1933, which defines what makes a state. 1. Establishing a permanent population. Under international law, you cannot have a state without a population. The legal proof, an ID card, serves as the primary evidence that a group of people has a genuine link to the new territory. The citizen's role. When citizens take these IDs, they are legally declaring themselves as inhabitants of the new state rather than the old one. If 10 million people hold an ID, the international community cannot argue that the new state is just a fantasy or a small group of rebels. 2. Declaratory theory versus constitutive theory. There are two main ways a country becomes real in international law. Declaratory theory. This says a state exists the moment it meets the criteria: population, territory, government. In this view, recognition by others is not required for the state to be legal. How the ID helps. The ID card is the administrative proof that the government is actually governing. It shows the world that the state is functional and organized. 3. Protecting human rights and legal identity. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 16.9 aims to provide legal identity for all. The argument: if a citizen's original country has abandoned them or they have renounced it, they risk becoming stateless. The ID as a shield. International law hates legal vacuums. By carrying an ID from the new government, citizens claim their right to a legal identity. Even if a foreign court doesn't recognize the country, they may recognize the ID as a valid record of the person's name, birth, and existence for humanitarian reasons. 4. Consular protection and de facto rights. Even without formal recognition, many countries allow representative offices, informal embassies. Identity verification. If a citizen is in trouble abroad, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the new country can only help if they can verify the person is a citizen. The ID card is the tool that allows the government in exile to provide consular assistance. It tells the host country, this person belongs to us, and we are responsible for them. Summary table. The ID card's power. Legal concept. Importance of the ID card. Sovereignty. Proves the government has the consent of the governed. Statehood. Satisfies the permanent population requirement of the Montevideo Convention. Administration. Shows the world the government is capable of maintaining a database and civil registry. Human rights. Prevents statelessness by providing a documented legal identity. What this means for you. By obtaining and holding these documents, citizens are participating in a quote, census of loyalty. This data is the most powerful weapon a Minister of Foreign Affairs has when they go to lobby international bodies. They don't just say we want a country, they say we already have one, and here is the proof of the millions who belong to it. Would you like me to draft a summary of how citizens can safely use these documents in everyday life to build de facto recognition?
We play it again. Listen very carefully before we go into our analysis. The ID card is for all the Biafrans in this first stage live in Diaspora. They are the first people. The second coming is this month or next month should be in the home for those in the homeland. Triple M. Good afternoon from here. Good afternoon from here. I see you. Ozemena. Thank you so much. I see you. Thank you so much for coming. So, the importance of the ID card that the government is asking us to fill the form, the importance of this ID card is what I want to listen through the international community and through the law. This is from the law of the Montevideo Convention 1933. There is 2 or 5 things that this ID card triggers, and there is things that this ID card leads to. There is more benefit to you. Why we need this ID card? Also, having that ID card is also supporting US government as the rightful government for you. Listen again.
In international law, the act of a citizen holding and using an ID card from a newly declared country is more than just a personal choice. It is a legal brick in the wall of statehood. While the ID might not be accepted at an airport immediately, its importance lies in the Montevideo Convention 1933, which defines what makes a state. 1. Establishing a permanent population. Under international law, you cannot have a state without a population. The legal proof, an ID card, serves as the primary evidence that a group of people has a genuine link to the new territory. The citizen's role. When citizens take these IDs, they are legally declaring themselves as inhabitants of the new state rather than the old one. If 10 million people hold an ID, the international community cannot argue that the new state is just a fantasy or a small group of rebels. 2. Declaratory theory versus constitutive theory. There are 2 main ways a country becomes real in international law. Declaratory theory. This says a state exists the moment it meets the criteria: population, territory, government. In this view, recognition by others is not required for the state to be legal. How the ID helps. The ID card is the administrative proof that the government is actually governing. It shows the world that the state is functional and organized. 3. Protecting human rights and legal identity. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 16.9 aims to provide legal identity for all. The argument: if a citizen's original country has abandoned them or they have renounced it, they risk becoming stateless. The ID as a shield. International law hates legal vacuums. By carrying an ID from the new government, citizens claim their right to a legal identity. Even if a foreign court doesn't recognize the country, they may recognize the ID as a valid record of the person's name, birth, and existence for humanitarian reasons. 4. Consular protection and de facto rights. Even without formal recognition, many countries allow representative offices, informal embassies.
Yes, this is a nation that was redeclared November the 29th, 2024, that are seeking for international recognition, which is United States of Biafra. That is the country. We are discussing about the importance of our ID card. Why everybody in Diaspora have to hold this card. Here they even mentioned about if it is only 10 million people, 10 to 5 million Biafrans have this ID card, is a very massive thing that leads to that recognition that we are looking for. So I want you to know, if you want USB to achieve recognition under 3 months, take your ID card. If you want it to be so fast, go and fill the form. Take the ID card of the USB. It is your right to do that. By doing that, you are facilitating our official recognition. When we come back for the beginning, then you may understand why I said so. Listen again.
Identity verification. If a citizen is in trouble abroad, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the new country can only help if they can verify the person is a citizen. The ID card is the tool that allows the government in exile to provide consular assistance. It tells the host country, this person belongs to us, and we are responsible for them. Summary table. The ID card's power. Legal concept. Importance of the ID card. Sovereignty. Proves the government has the consent of the governed. Statehood. Satisfies the permanent population requirement of the Montevideo Convention. Administration. Shows the world the government is capable of maintaining a database and civil registry. Human rights. Prevents statelessness by providing a documented legal identity. What this means for you. By obtaining and holding these documents, citizens are participating in a quote-unquote census of loyalty. This data is the most powerful weapon a Minister of Foreign Affairs has when they go to lobby international bodies. They don't just say we want a country, they say we already have one, and here is the proof of the millions who belong to it. Would you like me to draft a summary of how citizens can safely use these documents in everyday life to build de facto recognition?
Are you hearing it? So let us now, we start from the beginning. Like we normally do it here. Let us listen. In international law, the act of citizens holding and using an ID card for a newly declared country is more than just a personal choice. It is more than a personal choice. That means that we must have it. Now, it is a legal brick in the world of stakehold. It's proving what that there is a stakehold. It's proving that is what a stakehold. Let us continue. And they told you here that it's just more than personal choice. It's our rights. It is a inalienable right of all of us in abroad to go and take our ID card. There is one thing. Look at it now. You have given us two criteria. What? Defined territory, permanent population, effective government, and capacity. There is area that all things are working for. There is area that when the left hand watches the right hand also watches the left. This is how it goes. So in the world that we are looking to for recognition, all these things are part of the things that yield for that evidence of that official recognition that we are looking for. So if you never take this ID card after this program, please try and look for the link. If you don't have the link, tell me. I have the link. I will send to you. You must continue. Why the ID card might not be accepted at an airport immediately. At where that this ID card might not be accepted in an airport immediately. What comes again? Listen. It is the importance lies in the Montevideo Convention 1933, which is define what makes a state, which define what makes a new country, a country to exist or a country to live. These are one of the most important areas that we as the Biafran people have to channel our strength towards it. Now, why do we have to do that? Why the ID card might not be accepted at an airport immediately? Its importance lies in the Montevideo Convention. What is this Montevideo Convention? As we are going further, you are going to remember, you're going to hear all of them. Listen again.
In international law, the act of a citizen holding and using an ID card from a newly declared country is more than just a personal choice. It is a legal brick in the wall of statehood. While the ID might not be accepted at an airport immediately, its importance lies in the Montevideo Convention, 1933, which defines what makes a state. 1. Establishing a permanent population.
Now, listen to the value of this ID card. What is also meant is what is also meant to all of you. Why we needed it. Listen to this.
Under international law, you cannot have a state without a population. The legal proof, an ID card, serves as the primary evidence that a group of people has a genuine link to the new territory.
Listen to that. Establishing a permanent population through you taking USB ID card over Biafrans who are in abroad, they have to take this ID card. That is to prove what? A permanent population. Under international law, you cannot have a state without a population. Without what? Population. The ID card, when we are taking it, is an evidence to the international community that the people of United States of Biafra government, that there is a population of the citizens, why they make the declaration for their citizens to have a better life. For the citizens of the US to have a better life. So when you are taking this ID card, remember it is on the record. So we must do everything humanly possible to achieve this passport on this our time. Now let's continue. The legal proof An ID card serves as the primary evidence that a group of people have a genuine link to the new territory. A legal proof. An ID card serves as the primary evidence that the group of the people has genuine legal link to the new territory. Kevin Apos, Bishop, you're welcome. Please see Biafra, you're welcome. Thank you so much. I can see you. Thank you for coming. So when you take this ID card of the USB government, one, you have helped USB to fulfill what? The Montevideo Convention of 1933 on the part of what? Establishing a permanent population. That is where the issue of ID card falls. So, if you listen to this, don't you know that it's very important? Even in abroad means when you live in Africa. Kevin Apos, good morning, I can see you. Happy Sunday. Even when you live in Africa, even anywhere you live in this world, once you are in abroad, you deserve to take this ID card because it is also a great avenue to show to the world, listen, ID card serves as a primary evidence that a group of people has a genuine link to the new territory. Are you hearing it? Do you see why it's very important to us? So please, I urge you, after this program, go and do the needful by taking United States of Biafra ID card. Let's continue. The citizens' rule, the rule you and I have to do for this government to achieve recognition. They cannot do it alone. All of us is time of inclusive of all. Is the time that we are into. The rule of the citizens. When citizens take this ID card, they are declaring themselves as inhabited of the new state rather than the old one. When you take this ID card, you have proved that you are what? You are not respecting Nigeria, rather you have your loyalty on the side of the new country that was declared. These are how this ID card also works and what is going on. So on this as we are into, remember, they said, if 10 million people hold an ID card, the international community cannot argue that the new state is just a fantasy or a small group of what? Rebel. Do you see the word? So do you want the government of the USB to continue for them to start looking at them as rebel? If you don't want, what you have to do, you have to take your ID card even if you live in Africa. They said over 10 million Biafrans. Once the over 10 million Biafrans take this ID card, we are what? On our own. Because it's an evidence that leads recognition, that is part of the things that we are going to submit for our what? For our international recognition. That is why we must all do it at this stage.
Citizens' role. When citizens take these IDs, they are legally declaring themselves as inhabitants of the new state rather than the old one. If 10 million people hold an ID, the international community cannot argue that the new state is just a fantasy or a small group of rebels.
If you want the international community to see us that we are not a rebel group, that we're not a fantasy, what happened? We must stood up on our feet to make sure that everything is in order. Then also, the international community can no longer call us what? Rebel group. They cannot do what? Call us what? Rebel group. That is the thing I want you to understand today. My people, do not delay on your ID card. Take the ID card for you to prove under this government that they are in control of the permanent population, that they are the one giving us order. That is why this ID card is from United States of Biafra is very important to every Biafrans. Let's continue.
2. Declaratory theory versus constitutive theory. There are two main ways a country becomes real in international law. Declaratory theory. This says a state exists the moment it meets the criteria: population, territory, government. In this view, recognition by others is not required for the state to be legal.
Let me ask you. There is one thing I want you to remember or to pick out here. There are two main ways a country becomes real in international law. So, my people, there is nothing we can do. There is nothing we can do except proving that we are supporting our government. By how? By taking our ID card. My brother, like I said, when I will call my number out, take my number, then the link will be out. Or also, the government is also working for everything, both diaspora and the homeland. By end of this month or by first week of February, then everybody will be titled to have this ID card. There is more reason, only this little one. There is, as we are going down to this program, you will hear more about the importance of this ID card. Then you tell me, if this thing can be, this ID card can save all of us. Me, I'm also applying for my own because after my research, I found out that this document can do a lot. Not only for, see, if having this ID card is what will brings our recognition, can't we do that, my people? All of USB. If having this ID card, you having it, will trigger our recognition, can't we? They give example number. They said even those in the diaspora, up to 10 million people. If 10 million people hold an ID card, the international community cannot argue that the new state just a fantasy or a small group of rebels. Do you see why they give maximum number? So Biafran people in the diaspora, are we not above 10 million? The Biafrans in the diaspora, are we not above 10 million Biafrans? Why wasting time? Now you can get to understand the importance of this ID card. Why can't we take the ID card? You want Biafra, you want to go homeland, and we're in the diaspora, but you are not taking the ID card. This ID card is a hope of what? Our also easy recognition in the eyes of the international global community. They said, when over 10 million, I ask this question, please, my people, are we not over 10 million Biafrans in diaspora? I mean, those who believe in the USB. Because those that believe in the USB outnumber those that do not believe. Forget that thing. We have a work to do together with the government. We have our support to give to our government. If that support of the ID card is part of what we trigger recognition, can we do that? If you, according to this program we are doing right now, remember, the program I am doing, I pick it out from when I researched under Montevideo Convention 1933 on the issue of things that proving there is a population, evidence of population of people that declare the new country that lack international recognition. Things that triggers to recognition. Now, on the line of this particular Montevideo Convention to prove evidence of population, it's not by only assembling ourselves. It's not only on our voice. There is action, and that is when they said that the action speak louder than the voice. You taking the ID card is an action that leads to what? You had it here, that this action leads to recognition, that the world will no longer see you as a fantasy. The world will no longer see us as a small rebel group. Rather, they will see us as a population of a new country that have their own state. Nyangos, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ekwe, Justice, thank you so much for being here. Happy Sunday to all the Biafrans. Happy Sunday to all of you. So the importance of the ID card, the importance of it. Look at the maximum number they give as an example, 10 million. That is why I asked on the comment section. Nobody answered. I said, those in diaspora, are we not above 10 million? Let me tell you, there is no country that issue their ID card or their passport free to their citizens. True or false? Because of our own, because of the way we are moving right now. And there is a company building this. Gabriel, thank you so much. Emma, you're welcome. Chidowemane, thank you so much. Thank you so much, 3T Secure. Yes. Voters card. People are choosing voters card. So for us now, we need this ID card. They even say that this ID card will trigger what? Recognition. My senior man, Emma Greg, salute you from here. My non-sec, Chinoso, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Ben, you're welcome. We are discussing how the citizens of USD can help this government to achieve recognition. And look at, they said that when over 10 million Biafrans take this ID card, it triggers international recognition. It's part of it. It's not only by the document. There is more to that. And there is more to that is taking the ID card. If people can take the voters card in Nigeria that they use to vote those that are killing them, what of this ID card that becomes another savior in our life? What of the ID card that will make the world to say, oh, there is a very large population of these people, they are a country, they will recognize us. That is why it's very important for us to understand the importance of this ID card. On this Montevideo Convention of 1933, evidence of what? Population of people are proved also when a new country is being declared. Their citizens having their ID card is proving that there is a permanent population of the citizens that leads to international recognition, my people. We are at this ID card that we have, the government has to now. You heard it yesterday when our DPM said next week or next 2 weeks Monday, they will gather. Go in there, ask questions. Say on the line, you can fill your own. Yes, $100 is a big money, but the tax these governments are paying for this, do you think that you are paying the money for free? Only United States of Biafra document that I have here that I went to go and print from Cyber Cafe. Do you know that they say that this document is authentic and original? That the document is too authentic to go to Cyber Cafe and print it out as my own, to keep it as my document. of USB. The president said, "Wow, that this country is going to one of the best original authentic country." Look at that kind of award from India person, admiring only USB document, only document for me to sign as one of the mission head. So imagine the ID card. Imagine the ID card, what it's going to do for us. Now that you had this ID card will trigger our recognition. Please, my people, let us do fast. Ndeba is no kwibo. No na-eme ngwa ngwa emegoro ọdachi. At the stage of now, Donald Trump is still in charge. Please, nobody knows tomorrow. Let us do anything we can. Even if it means borrowing money to do this ID card, go on and do it. You will not regret about it. The money you borrow to do this ID card will bring what? It's going to bring blessing to you. Tell me, if tomorrow Biafra is being the other countries like Israel, many top countries recognize Biafra because of this ID card, are you not going to be happy? Even though you borrow money, even though you beg money to do it. If you're in Diaspora, United Kingdom, very easy. Go to our DPM. Go to Dr. Ngozi Rabeze's handle on X. You will see the link. Then, if you're on this my platform, hold on. When I call my number for the program, you can also send me hi on the WhatsApp. Then I will send you the link, so you can do it. It's only $100. You will pay for it. $100 will not kill you. $100 will not take anything away from you. This ID card of USB. Let's continue.
How the ID helps. The ID card is the administrative proof that the government is actually governing. It shows the world that the state is functional and organized. 3. Protecting human rights and legal identity. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 16.9 aims to provide legal identity.
Let's do something here. How the ID card helps. The ID card is the administrative proof that the government is actually governing. It shows the world that the state is functioning and organized. It shows that the USB government is functioning, they are governing, and we organize people. So with only this, how it helps, and the more you are going to hear, that is why it's important for you to have this ID card. Listen again, let's continue. Protecting human rights and the legal identification. The United Nations Stabilized Development Goal 16.9 aims to provide legal ID card for all. On this law of this 16.9.m is where another is. They said that the new government like USB has the right to issue the ID card for the protection of their work of their citizens. I don't want to rush in a hurry and summarize it for you. I want you to follow me on the journey, so you can see why this ID card is very important at this age you're into. The argument, number one, if a citizen's original country has abandoned them or they have renounced it, the risk becomes settlement. Let's continue.
For all. The argument, if a citizen's original country has abandoned them or they have renounced it, they risk becoming stateless.
No, now that we have denounced Nigeria, because if you believe in the redeclaration, automatically you have denounced Nigeria. And they said, when you denied Nigeria and you have a problem in abroad where you are, even my people, If the immigration people catch you up and you presented this ID card, once they put this ID card, they will know you have a government in exile. And the law, there is a law that protects a government in exile. The same law protects you. When they see this ID card in your hand, they are not going to deport you. Rather, they said the risk becomes settlement. Then they will settle. That is why it's important to pay attention on certain things that is going to help us to achieve our recognition. And also, some certain things that will benefit you. Frank Okoye, thank you so much. Please hit the like button. Let this message go viral to all Biafrans that are under USB. Because the number they mentioned here, they said, if over 10,000 people of this new declared country take this ID card, that only this ID card has removed them on the level of rebel. That the ID card has removed them on the sidelines of what? Tagging them rebel. That the ID card has made them for the world to see that there is a new corner has emerged. Chidi Ebube from China, my brother. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Now let us continue.
The ID as a shield. International law hates legal vacuums. By carrying an ID from the new government, citizens claim their right to a legal identity. Even if a foreign court doesn't recognize the country, they may recognize the ID as a valid record of the person's name, birth, and existence for humanitarian reasons.
Are you hearing it? The shield, the ID card shield, international law has legal vacuum. By carrying an ID card from the new government, citizens claim the right to a legal ID card. Even if a foreign court does not recognize the ID card, even if a foreign court did not recognize this ID card as a valid record. Listen, there's a mistake here. Even if foreign court does not recognize the country, even if the country where you are never recognize USB as a new country, what happens? Then listen to what happened really. Listen to here. They may recognize the ID card. They may recognize the ID card as a valid record of the personal name of birth, and the existence from humanitarian reason. That is why on the law of the humanitarian reason, of the humanitarian movement, that is also when the issue of when our passport comes out, on that, some country with, let's say, per se agreement or with outside agreement can recognize your passport, but they never recognize you as a country because the humanitarian movement must continue. And the trending of the business with the humanitarian movement must continue. So there's a lot of options. That's why we have to choose our ID card. Now, when they recognize, what happens? Listen.
4. Consular protection and de facto rights. Even without formal recognition, many countries allow representative offices, informal embassies.
Are you hearing it? Even without formal recognition, many countries allowed representative offices, informally embassies. That is why when you rent an embassy after declaration with government in exile that lack international recognition, what will happen next? What will happen next is that you will register that embassy as an organization in the area, as one of the office of that new government, which our government has done that. Now, in the name of this office, you can be there, issue this ID card out. You can be there, issue passports out, because that is automatically your embassy. What is work of an embassy? It's part of work of the embassy. They said here that some countries might recognize the ID card, but they did not recognize the country. Because the ID card proves identity. And you can hear the testimony everywhere. Those that this ID card, even on the eve that they are about to be deported, because of this ID card, they did not deport them, because the ID card carries everything about you and what we are passing through, why we have a government in exile. So on the law of the legal vacuum, the international applies that this person will not be deported. The ID card also gives you 50% of automatic asylum in that country where you are, which did not even have paper on it. Then that time they listen. I don't want to be in a hurry to bring everything out. Let's continue.
Identity verification. If a citizen is in trouble abroad, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the new country can only help if they can verify the person is a citizen.
Are you hearing it? USB. Do we have the Office of Minister of Foreign Affairs? Do we have it in USB? Do we have the? I want you to, if you are in the government, I want to know, do we have Office of Minister of Foreign Affairs? Do we? I want someone to answer yes or no. Do you know that the USB have Minister of Foreign Affairs? Do you know that? I want to see your comment. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, we have. It's only one person can answer yes, we have. Now, identify verification. Identify verification. If a citizen is in trouble in abroad, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the new country can only help if they can verify the person is a citizen of a new declared country. Now, how is it going to help us or help you when you are in trouble in abroad and you have USB ID card? Now, listen.
The ID card is the tool that allows the government in exile to provide consular assistance. It tells the host country, this person belongs to us and we are responsible for them.
Are you hearing it? Are you hearing it? The ID card is the tool to allow the government in exile to provide consular assistance. It tells the host country where you was arrested. It tells the host country, this person belongs to us and we are responsible for them. If you want USB to do something for you, even though you do not have paper in a country where you are, rush and get this ID card. The ID card, once it's entered inside the machine, once they see it, it brings everything about, you had it here, government in exile. Why your government is in exile is the same reason why you are in exile. It is the same reason why you are in exile. So that is the same law that helps the government in exile to parade in exile or in abroad is the same thing that gives you automatically asylum, my people. That is why you have to take the ID card. I see you. Thank you so much. Bishop, happy Sunday. Thank you so much. Now, in summary and listen.
Summary table. The ID card's power. Legal concept. Importance of the ID card. Sovereignty. Proves the government has the consent of the governed. Statehood.
Do you hear that word? Legal concept. Importance of the ID card. The first said what? Sovereignty. The first said what? Sovereignty. Prove the government has the consent of their governed. Now, statehood. Remember that all these things is what is being mentioned in the Montevideo Convention, how you become a state, or now that we are a country, we have declared Biafra in exile. Things are proving that we are a country. Let's continue.
Satisfies the permanent population requirement of the Convention.
That this ID card, as the son official, the big comrade, happy Sunday. Welcome back. I watched your program yesterday. Thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. Biafrans, if you never subscribe to Ezekuna, son of Fisher, is one of our own, one of the volunteer USB media team that are doing very well. So if you never do, please subscribe on his page. Ezekuna, son of Fisher, you can see it there. Just copy that name, put it on your YouTube. You will find him. He is doing very wonderful. You know that in this movement, we are unique in our own different ways. Everybody has the work he's doing. Everyone has the work everybody's doing. So when you listen to the benefit of this ID card, I want to ask you as you are listening, does it worth taking? Does this ID card worth any of us to have it in abroad? Let's continue.
Administration shows the world the government is capable of maintaining a database and civil registry. Human rights prevents statelessness by providing a documented legal identity.
Are you hearing it? That is why when things are coming out, we are here to bring it from another level. That is why we take our time to do research to find out the benefit of this ID card and how this ID card can help us to achieve our recognition. The Biafras in Diaspora, we are over 10 million. We are over 5 million. If 5 million Biafrans have this ID card, if 5 million Biafrans have this ID card, it's worth having. With what you are hearing here, are you not happy? And don't you think that this ID card that that it's worth us to have it on our hand? It is. It is. Listen.
What this means for you: by obtaining and holding these documents, citizens are participating in a quote census of loyalty. This data is the most powerful weapon a Minister of Foreign Affairs has when they go to lobby international bodies. They don't just say we want a country, they say we already have one, and here is the proof of the millions who belong to it. Would you like?
Do you hear why we need this ID card more? By obtaining, also, what this means for you, what this ID card means to every Biafran who live in abroad. By obtaining and holding this document of ID card, the citizens are participating in the cause of loyalty. One, this data is the most powerful weapon a Minister of Foreign Affairs has when they go to lobby international bodies. Are you hearing it? That is why we need to take this ID card. It is also an evidence to present to the international body that we want Biafra as our own country, not only on mouth. There is actions. Taking this ID card is another action that you had it here. That is part of the evidence presenting to the international countries when they are in there to lobby for Biafra recognition, my people. Now, do you see those who want you to have a country? Do you see the work? Things that make you to become official country. This is the most powerful weapon a Minister of Foreign Affairs has when they go to lobby international bodies. They don't just say, we want a country. They will say, we already have one country already. And here is the proof of the millions who belongs to this new country. Here is the proof of what? Millions that what? That are ready, that want this new country as their own.
Me to draft a summary of how citizens can safely use these documents in everyday life to build de facto recognition.
Are you hearing it? De facto what? Recognition. Listen to this. Listen.
In international law, the act of a citizen holding and using an ID card from a newly declared country is more than just a personal choice. It is a legal brick in the wall of statehood. While the ID might not be accepted at an airport immediately, its importance lies in the Montevideo Convention, 1933, which...
You got a place that the ID must not be immediately recognized, but there is. Listen.
Defines what makes a state. 1. establishing a permanent population. Under international law, you cannot have a state without a population. The legal proof, an ID card, serves as the primary evidence that a group of people has a genuine link to the new territory. The citizen's role. When citizens take these IDs, they are legally declaring themselves as inhabitants of the new state rather than the old one. If 10 million people hold an ID, the international community cannot argue that the new state is just a fantasy or a small group of rebels. 2. Declaratory theory versus constitutive theory. There are two main ways a country becomes real in international law. Declaratory theory. This says a state exists the moment it meets the criteria: population, territory, government. In this view, recognition by others is not required for the state to be legal. How the ID helps. The ID card is the administrative proof that the government is actually governing. It shows the world that the state is functional and organized. 3. Protecting human rights and legal identity. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 16.9 aims to provide legal identity for all. The argument: if a citizen's original country has abandoned them or they have renounced it, they risk becoming stateless. The ID as a shield. International law hates legal vacuums. By carrying an ID from the new government, citizens claim their right to a legal identity. Even if a foreign court doesn't recognize the country, they may recognize the ID as a valid record of the person's name, birth, and existence for humanitarian reasons. 4. Consular protection and de facto rights. Even without formal recognition, many countries allow representative offices, informal embassies. Identity verification. If a citizen is in trouble abroad, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the new country can only help if they can verify the person is a citizen. The ID card is the tool that allows the government in exile to provide consular assistance. It tells the host country, this person belongs to us, and we are responsible for them. Summary table. The ID card's power. Legal concept. Importance of the ID card. Sovereignty. Proves the government has the consent of the governed. Statehood. Satisfies the permanent population requirement of the Montevideo Convention. Administration. Shows the world the government is capable of maintaining a database and civil registry. Human rights. Prevents statelessness by providing a documented legal identity. What this means for you. By obtaining and holding these documents, citizens are participating in a quote, census of loyalty. This data is the most powerful weapon a Minister of Foreign Affairs has when they go to lobby international bodies. They don't just say we want a country, they say we already have one, and here is the proof of the millions who belong to it. Would you like me to draft a summary of how citizens can safely use these documents in everyday life to build de facto recognition?
Yes, you can understand the importance of this ID card to me, not to someone who is not a Biafran, and how I want to become my sovereignty is none of his business or her business, because there is international laws. In this 21st century, there is a new law, how you become a sovereignty. But I will stop here to answer your question. Let me tell you that we are prepared whenever we are on this platform. Because the fools will come and tell you, oh, there is no sovereignty. Nigerian government is in charge of your territory. Nobody controls his territory. And in this time around, sovereignty is no longer because of you have military or because of you have control your territory. Once you make a declaration of your country, automatically you have become a sovereign state on your own. You will be claiming sovereignty on your own, presenting to the world that I am a sovereignty before they recognize you as a sovereignty. Military, taking control is not sovereignty in this 21st century that we are into. Once you declare a new country, despite who is there, they said that the new country lack physical control of their territory. That is why countries in the past, there is many countries in exile, not only Biafra. It's not only us. And those countries in the past, they was be able to achieve their country and possess their territory. Once they got recognition, you should come. What is that to your name? This is Elias. I know you are the one commenting here. Go and tell us, how did Ethiopia was in government, was in exile, 1963 to 1941. How did they become a sovereignty? Elias. How did Ethiopia, Algeria was in exile from 1962 to 1958. Angola, 1975, government in exile. Guinea-Bissau, I'm talking of me from Africa, not you, who is a criminal that are thieving Biafran people's money. These are the full countries that are what? In the government in exile. Can you tell us how Ethiopia got their sovereignty when the government in exile from 1963 to 1941? Algeria, 1962 to 1958. Angola, 1975 gradually. Then what of Guinea-Bissau? What of Madagascar? What of Namibia? 1990, they finally achieved it. What of Zambia and Eritrea? Can you tell us how they become a sovereignty? Can you tell us how they become a sovereignty? You are not the one that is giving sovereignty. I am a sovereign nation, whether I like it or not, because there is international law that guides everything. That thing you use to deceive Ogenkere, Biafran people, we are smarter more than that. Once a new country makes their declaration, automatically you become a sovereignty that lacks international recognition. That is how it goes. Nobody can deceive the real Biafrans anymore. That is why we have a government that are representing us very well. Sovereignty is not by controlling territory, because there is many countries in the past that become a sovereignty, they are in exile. My question to you is, can you tell us how did people of Ethiopia claim their sovereignty when they use government in exile? How many years? From 1963 to 1941. Check it, how many years it is. After that, they become, tell us, let us know how they become a sovereignty. Is what I'm asking you. It's not a big question. Tell us how they become a sovereignty. Can you? Explain the comment section how Ethiopia, even Algeria. Okay, explain how Namibia, Guinea-Bissau, these are African countries. Come and tell us how they get their sovereignty. Tell us how they achieve their sovereignty and how they become a sovereign state. If you know what if you know, you can argue. That's what I'm asking you. You think that here is Ogenkere that you are deceiving? Tell us. The question is, I want you to ask, how did sovereignty comes along? It's a pure lie. That is not a sovereignty. That is not what a sovereignty in this 21st century, or even those that have achieved their country in the past. A sovereignty, once you declare a nation, you pronounce it automatically, you are a sovereign nation. You are what? A sovereign nation. Once you declare your country. That is where everything begins. Wait, I am going deep down into my archive. Let me give it to you. Don't run away, stay. Hold on. My people, please, 1 minute. This is the fool who is deceiving Ogenkere. These are those who don't know the thing that everything is how you think about it. When there is a law, when there is a thing that's proving that you are a sovereignty. My people, please, 1 minute. Let me refresh my archive. I have this in on my documents before. Supposed to save it here. 1 minute. My people, 1 minute. 1 minute. Because when they come, if you don't answer them, when they comment, they will think they know what they are writing. How can a man who is not a Biafran open his mouth to tell us that we are not a sovereign state. Are you a Biafran? Why our sovereignty becomes a problem? Is it your country that gives sovereignty? Is it your country that gives what? Sovereignty. Is it your country? Listen to the definition of sovereignty. Listen.
In the 21st century, the definition of sovereignty for a new country declared by a government in exile, GIE, is a complex blend of traditional territory-based rules and modern rights-based diplomacy. Under international law, the UN Charter, the Montevideo Convention and the African Charter, sovereignty is not just about having a military, it is about the legal right to exercise supreme authority. 1. The 4 pillars of sovereignty, Montevideo criteria.
Listen to the 4 pillars of what makes you a sovereignty. A sovereign nation. Listen to that.
The foundation of statehood remains the 1933 Montevideo Convention. For a government in exile to declare a new country, they must aim to satisfy these 4 criteria, though the 21st century interpretation is more flexible. Permanent population.
The 21st century that started from 2001, that is going to end in 2100, they said that is more flexible in this 21st century as sovereignty. Listen to that. Number 1 of it is what? Permanent population.
A specific group of people who identify with the new state. Defined territory. Even if the GIE doesn't physically control the land yet, because it is occupied or contested, they must claim a specific geographic area. Government. The GIE must function as a political body capable of making decisions and representing the people. Capacity to enter relations. The ability to sign treaties and talk to other nations. This is the GIE's strongest tool. 2. The legitimacy shift in the 21st century. Historically,
the legitimacy of sovereignty has shifted in 21st century. Listen how it is and how it is.
You needed effective control, an army on the ground. Today, international law increasingly prioritizes legitimacy over physical force. The right of self-determination. Under the UN Charter and African Charter, Article 20, if a people are fighting against domination...
Listen to Article 20 of the our own African Charter about sovereignty. Listen.
...or colonialism, their government in exile is often viewed as the sovereign representative even before they win the war. Declaratory theory. Most modern scholars follow the declaratory theory, which says a state exists the moment it meets the criteria, regardless of whether other countries recognize it. However, for a
regardless of whether other countries recognize us, we are a sovereignty. Because of we have met those criteria of Montevideo Convention, even the African Charter, Article 20. And they said in this 21st century, it's no longer that military or take control of 100% of your territory is when you become a sovereignty. That a government in exile lack physical control. They are a sovereignty on the paper that's waiting for a recognition that triggers them to the fully nature of what? Sovereignty. Listen.
i.e., recognition is essentially their air supply. Without it, they cannot function. 3. De jure versus de facto sovereignty. In the case of a government in exile, international law splits sovereignty into 2 types.
Listen.
Type. Definition. Requirement. De jure. By law. The legal right to rule, based on international law, treaties, and the will of the people. De facto. In fact.
Are you hearing sovereignty? What is sovereignty in this 21st century? Because the law has changed. Okay. You think that we don't research this time around? We do a lot of research to know what USB is doing, if they are on the right track of what the world wants us to be, and what will trigger recognition for USB.
The physical power to rule, based on military control, tax collection, and policing the streets. The 21st century reality, a government in exile holds de jure sovereignty.
A government based on what? This 21st century reality, government in exile hold de jure sovereignty. With our government, what we're acting now, we are a sovereignty in the eyes of the UN Charter articles, in the eyes of Montevideo Convention, in the eyes of Geneva Convention, these are the things that give us what? A sovereign state automatically.
They are the legal owners of the country's rights, like bank accounts or UN seats, even if another group holds de facto power through military force. 4. Proving effective government without military. You ask if they must show military force. In the 21st century, a GIE can prove it is an effective government through civilian governance, such as 1. Issuing passports, if other countries accept their travel documents. 2. Diplomatic missions, having embassies in foreign capitals. 3. Representing the people, showing that the population back home supports the GIE, e.g., through underground movements or protests. 4. Managing resources, handling the nation's frozen assets or international aid. Summary. In the modern Monde world, sovereignty is a legal status granted by the international community. While a military helps you take territory, your sovereignty comes from being recognized as the legitimate voice of a people under the UN Charter. Would you like me to analyze a specific...
Look at this last place in this summary. Look at this last place that they summarize it. In the modern world, sovereignty is a legal status granted by the international community. Are you the one granting sovereignty? Are you the one that is granting sovereignty, international sovereignty? You are not the one. Why a military helps? Military helps to take territory. Your sovereignty comes from being organized as the legitimate voice of the people under the UN Charter. On the UN Charter, Dr. Ngozi Arabeze's voice is only her voice in this movement has proven what? That we are a sovereignty. A sovereignty becomes what? They give us 4 criteria in this 21st century. What was a sovereignty? The time of the colonial eras is no longer the use in this 21st century. They said that in the 21st century that it is they made it flexible. It is flexible to the world. To you to have it when you have a government in exile. That's also what happened. They make it open here. Your sovereignty comes from being recognized as an legitimate voice of a people under the UN Charter. This is how you become a sovereignty. This is how everything goes on. No, when this is the idiot that is taking money from Elias that is taking money from the fallback group. So today, the sovereignty has been moved away from what people usually think it was. And there is no way they told you that you must have military that full everywhere, that when you are in exile, that you can control 100%, 20%, 1% before you become a sovereignty. There is no law at all in that way. Everything in this 21st century, and they say that everything has changed in this 21st century. That is why they give us the law. That is why even to the extent of dragging us down to the African Charter. To the what? To African Charter. That a sovereign nation, once you declare their country, you have, only that's our declaration, November the 29, 2024. That is where the sovereignty begins. Sovereignty begins from the day you declare your country. Now, when you declare it, what happens? Now you'll be fighting to get what? To achieve recognition. And they give you that in this 21st century, that the sovereignty becomes what? That your sovereignty is what? Permanent population, defined territory, effective government, capacity to sign agreement. Once you possess these 4 characters that USB has already been over it, you are a sovereignty on your own. If you are not a sovereignty, nobody will view you as a sovereignty. If you're not a nation, nobody will call you a nation. So you must prove that I am a nation before other countries will call you what? A nation. They will not just come and call you a nation, because everything is what? Inclusive of everything that is happening for you to become a fully what? Sovereignty. So do not mind those who come to deceive people. That is why I ask you, tell us how these countries that was in exile, how did they achieve it? When many of them declared their independence in exile, tell us how they achieved their sovereignty. You cannot. So you don't need to control 1% of your territory. I have done it here in the past. I have proved to the people that they said that you don't need to control 1% of your territory. Now you have jumped, you have entered control. Come, let's talk about sovereignty. Why are you jumping into control? We have evidence. And the evidence we have is international law, is what we have as our evidence, not what we think. That is why I said that the movement we are into is no longer what people think it is. The game has changed. The game has what? Changed. If you are doubting it, ask any question anywhere in any app. They will tell that you don't need 1% control before you can claim a sovereignty. That you don't need it. If you are doubting, let me type it here, a fresh one, and give it to the Okoko. Hold on, my people. Hold on, my people. The thought is far from what we are doing. Listen to this. We are prepared at all time. Listen. Listen to this.
In international law, there is no specific percentage, like 10%, 20%, or 80%, of land you must control to be legally considered a sovereign state. Instead, sovereignty is usually determined by a set of legal standards called the Montevideo criteria, which focuses on the quality of your control rather than the quantity of land.
Open what? Open Montevideo Convention on your phone and ask them what is sovereignty. Okay.
1. The legal requirements. The Montevideo Convention. To be recognized as a sovereign state under the declaratory theory, a group must possess a permanent population, people who live there and consider it home, a defined territory, clear borders, even if some are disputed, a government. Even
the land of the new country will be in dispute. You don't need 20%, you don't need 1%, you don't need any percent to claim a sovereignty.
A political body that exercises authority, capacity to enter relations, the ability to sign treaties and talk to other nations. 2. Effective control versus percentage. The most important factor is effective control. International law asks, can this government actually enforce laws, protect people, and run the territory? 100% control is not required. Many countries are considered fully sovereign, even while facing internal rebellions or no-go zones. The 0%...
Even the first internal rebellion or no-go zone, that is what they call like Biafra land right now. There is Nigeria militarizing everywhere. You don't need to go and confront them before you become a sovereignty, or you don't need to go and chase them away before you become a sovereignty. It is that the sovereignty is what they give us here, 4 criteria. And now that we Biafran people has overmade these 4 criteria, what happens next? You are what? A sovereignty.
Exception. Governments in exile. As we discussed with Algeria or Guinea-Bissau, a government can sometimes be recognized as sovereign while controlling 0% of its land, provided that other nations believe it is the rightful government and that its return to power is likely or just.
Are you hearing it? They give an example. Government in exile, Algeria, Guinea-Bissau. A government can sometimes be recognized as a sovereignty while they did not control 1%, 0% of their territory. Why they did not control what? 0% of their territory. You that is talking, before Israel organized Somaliland, are they not a sovereign state? Israel did not recognize them because of they have controlled 100% of their territory. It is a pure lie.
3. De facto versus de jure sovereignty. This is the trick in international politics. De facto, in practice, you control 90% of the land, but nobody recognizes you, e.g., Somaliland.
Are you hearing it? Somaliland, they control 90% of their land, but nobody recognized them until 2025, December 26th of yesterday. Look, I thank God you just mentioned Somaliland and they bring it in here. On my research, I have it down already. Because those who want to use Somaliland to deceive people. Listen, Somaliland control 90%, but there is no international recognition. And now after this, I will go to the Okoko.
You have power, but you aren't a sovereign state in the eyes of the UN. De jure by law.
You have power, but no control. But you are controlling your people in the eyes of the UN. You are a sovereign state.
You are recognized by the UN and other countries, even if you are in exile and control none of the land. Comparison of control versus sovereignty. Entity. Territorial control. Sovereignty status. Somalia, 1990s. Almost 0%. Anarchy. Sovereign. The UN recognized the government anyway. Somaliland. 100%. Not sovereign. No international recognition. Western Sahara. SADAR. Approximately 20%. Recognized by AU, member state, but not by the UN. Guinea-Bissau, 1973. Approximately 60%. Recognized by UN before they took the capital.
Recognized by UN before they will be able to took what? Their capital. They did not control 1%. And they are what? A sovereignty. In summary, listen to this.
Summary. You do not need a specific percentage. What matters most.
In summary, you did not need a specific control, even 1% of your territory, before you become a sovereignty. Once you declare and you have your population, you have your government, you have your territory on your own and giving instruction to your people who are in exile, you are a sovereignty waiting for recognition. They said here that Somaliland, when they even control the 100% of the territory, there was no what international recognition. You must recognize yourself before anybody will recognize you. That's what they said here. You do not need specific control of 1%, 20, 30, 40, 50, or 100 before you become a sovereignty. Your recognition, your declaration automatically is a notification that a sovereign nation has emerged in the eyes of the international community. Don't mind the Okoko. Here, Elias, this is where you cannot write here again, and all you take your time to rush, rights will disappear at this junction. You are a criminal in the Biafra movement. Due that all nonsense you write has been wiped out. My people, I want to give it to you for you to know that we are prepared. Can you tell us how your country, Greece, becomes a country? Get your own sovereignty. So my people, you don't need our declaration from that day. We have become a sovereign state. That is what the law says. They say that after declaration that the country or the new country territory is under dispute. Even they said where there is area is what? Zone, they call it no-go area. In this no-go area, people that in exile, they are sovereignty waiting for recognition that will chase them away. That is how. If Somaliland contested for over how many years? What of we? We are not going to will a people of Somaliland, but our recognition is assured. We must prove that we are a sovereignty before other countries in the world will see us as a sovereignty. Sorry for that, my people. You know, there's some things that you don't need to keep. When they come, you trash them. That is why I have to do this. You know who is, you can see the name. He is the one that representing Elias. The Elias that is representing Ogenkere. I know they have been looking. Yes, I just wiped away all his rubbish comments. He was telling us that we are not a sovereignty, and we are a sovereign nation in the eyes of the international community. those that give SWOT recognition, in their eyes, Biafran people are what? Sovereignty, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or what? Or not. That is why we give examples. They even mention it here in your own eyes. They said that even though that Somaliland control 100% of their territory, that nobody recognizes them as a sovereignty. And they give you an example of Guinea-Bissau, that when the government was in exile, that they did not control 1% of their territory, that they are what they call no-go area, zone no-go area, that they did not be able to come back until they achieved recognition. This is how it works. So in this 21st century, our eyes were opening. We are no longer wasting time. We are no longer doing what? Wasting time for any rubbish. Once they come, we dismantle them. Because if you allow them, they will continuously doing what they are doing. That is why when they come, we engage them once. So far, we have the evidence in our hand. So let us go back to our program, my people. I have to do this because the agent of Nigeria want to come and discourage our people. That's what he normally does. I don't know. I'm not from Nigeria. I'm a Biafran. I am from University of Biafra. I don't talk about another country. So what is your take on your country? Go on with that. That is my answer to you on that particular question. So my people, you can understand one thing that is very, very important into what we are doing. What is that thing? Those things are what? That our ID card is another thing that makes a way for us to achieve recognition. Sorry for taking your mind out, but I have to bring your mind back to the program again. The importance of what? The ID card of the USB. Why we all must rush to have our ID card. It is very important. It is very, very important on this stage that we are into. Because without that, we are also delaying our recognition. We have made it openly to understand that this our official word, this our ID card is another way that we make this movement of recognition for USB to become automatic very quickly once we all adhere to the instruction of taking our what? Our ID card. It is very important. The importance of it is why you have to. If you know that you want us to go home, if you live in abroad, so please take this ID card. The ID card triggers. They said it's a powerful word, that it is a powerful tool to achieve recognition. That is why it is important at this stage that we're into that we all pay attention to what the government is doing. Please, it's very, very important. It is very, very important for us to do that. So getting you back to the program we are doing, listen to this.
In international law, the act of a citizen holding and using an ID card from a newly declared country is more than just a personal choice. It is a legal brick in the wall of statehood. While the ID might not be accepted at an airport immediately, its importance lies in the Montevideo Convention, 1933, which defines what makes a state. 1. Establishing a permanent population. Under international law, you cannot have a state without a population. The legal proof, an ID card, serves as the primary evidence that a group of people has a genuine link to the new territory. The citizen's role. When citizens take these IDs, they are legally declaring themselves as inhabitants of the new state rather than the old one. If 10 million people hold an ID, the international community cannot argue that the new state is just a fantasy or a small group of rebels. 2. Declaratory theory versus constitutive theory. There are two main ways a country becomes real in international law. Declaratory theory. This says a state exists the moment it meets the criteria: population, territory, government. In this view, recognition by others is not required for the state to be legal. How the ID helps. The ID card is the administrative proof that the government is actually governing. It shows the world that the state is functional and organized. 3. Protecting human rights and legal identity. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 16.9 aims to provide legal identity for all. The argument: if a citizen's original country has abandoned them or they have renounced it, they risk becoming stateless. The ID as a shield. International law hates legal vacuums. By carrying an ID from the new government, citizens claim their right to a legal identity. Even if a foreign court doesn't recognize the country, they may recognize the ID as a valid record of the person's name, birth, and existence for humanitarian reasons. 4. Consular protection and de facto rights. Even without formal recognition, many countries allow representative offices, informal embassies. Identity verification. If a citizen is in trouble abroad, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the new country can only help if they can verify the person is a citizen. The ID card is the tool that allows the government in exile to provide consular assistance. It tells the host country, this person belongs to us, and we are responsible for them. Summary table. The ID card's power. Legal concept. Importance of the ID card. Sovereignty. Proves the government has the consent of the governed. Statehood. Satisfies the permanent population requirement of the Montevideo Convention. Administration. Shows the world the government is capable of maintaining a database and civil registry. Human rights. Prevents statelessness by providing a documented legal identity. What this means for you. By obtaining and holding these documents, citizens are participating in a quote, census of loyalty. This data is the most powerful weapon a Minister of Foreign Affairs has when they go to lobby international bodies. They don't just say we want a country, they say we already have one, and here is the proof of the millions who belong to it. Would you like me to draft a summary of how citizens can safely use these documents in everyday life to build de facto recognition?
That is the next question. If we decide, but this true that our people of Biafra, under USB, you can see the importance of us having this our ID card. Having United States of Biafra ID card is also giving the world an evidence that we are a country already seeking for only one thing: international recognition. Seeking for what? International recognition. That is why we must achieve this passport in any of us. Next 2 weeks, Monday, remember that the organization that handles this ID card will be coming out. So prepare yourself. We don't need lobby. Rather, we have what it takes to go. What is the work of the Minister of Affairs? When you have such a person that knows her work, you don't need lobby. What you need to go by yourself. Then when you go into the areas that you needed that high quality people, they're what we call under the lobby, charge and bail. You go there, tell them, I want to use you for tomorrow. How much does it cost? You pay them and you go. They will escort you and it ends there. Instead of signing an agreement, having them, and you are spending billions, millions of money when the country needed the money the most. So people of Biafra understand that now that if you are not taking ID card, you are delaying our recognition. If you are not taking your ID card, you are delaying our what? Recognition. Good boy, you're welcome. Please, number to call remains +97 33 60 51 337. In case if you want to call on this platform on what we are doing, that is the number you can call. Ijele, good evening from here. Thank you so much. Happy Sunday. Yes, Nicholas, Mark, good evening. Hood boy, good evening. I greet you all for coming. Those that did not come, so please pardon me. My people, the what we are doing, I want you to see. If you and I refuse to pay for this ID card or to take ID card, we are delaying our recognition. If you are not paying for this ID card, if you are not taking it, We are doing what? We are delaying our recognition. Do not call the government. What are they doing? What you have to do is what? Take the ID card. By taking the ID card, you are giving more leverage for recognition. What this means for you, this ID card, by obtaining and holding this document, citizens are participating in the case of loyalty. Number one, your loyalty is to the USD government. We are declared. This data is the most powerful weapon a foreign of affairs minister has when they are going for lobby international body. You have a call? You'll be back after the phone call. Thank you so much. No, this is Triple M. Hello, Woki Triple M.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much, my brother. Read Biafra TV. Happy Sunday from my location.
I wish you the best, my brother. Mazi.
Yeah. Downloading my brother. They cannot. We Biafrans, the lovers of freedom. The lovers of freedom. We love what we are doing. Honestly. You know, initially, when our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was there, preaching, they are uncountable, but they don't know the reason why they are there. That's why when you hear them go to social media to talk, they try to mimic the way our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu talk. They try to, speak like him, thinking that is the reason why people are following our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's to tell you that they don't know the reason why they are there, and they don't know what they are looking for. They are just there making money, trying to, or they can. How can you tell me you are fighting for your freedom? You are speaking for your people. All you need to do there is just to you see them talking the way our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be talking the way he presents whatever thing he presents. They think that is the way to go. But today this is where we are. After our leader comes in, our leader PM comes in. One despite the fact that the enemy still, came back again. No, our PM said it. If you think that you want to sabotage this particular movement that he is into now, before you sabotage it, when I want to here, and that is what is happening today. That is exactly what is happening today. My people at the comment section, I didn't forget you people. I appreciate each and every one of you, the one that is genuinely supporting what we are doing. I heard when you said about the criminal and chocolate layers. Just imagine a man that called himself the so-called lobbyist. Meanwhile, Oriaguru, after our declaration, Oriaguru, I ain't had nothing to do with him. Now look at you now jump from one platform of Biafrans. Or we are Biafra. We Biafrans, we know what you want. He doesn't go there. You can never see him engage any congressman in public. So we go do audio of the discussion with him and any prominent men in America. You can see. But I don't know now. You will get it. I know you will let this useless something. You can sell it to Aparawa, the criminal Aparawa and co. You have to get your land 100% or 90-something%. When you try doing that, when they all way.
Yes, now.
The new law now, they know what they are doing. When they say they don't want to hear boom, it can't go to zoo now, say Gachopuga line now with that when and they stopped it. This is exactly what these criminals are pushing. And with the way things are going now, if we go to that way, one day it will linger our recognition. It will because asana onya onye na-enene adịghị mmiri ntụ because ihe ha na-eme ihe niile abụ ka achọ ihe a ga-eji buru our government aha ọjọọ. That is what they are trying to, get. Akwa he supporting Ogekere. What are they doing? Ogekere, what have they secured? Why don't him help Ogekere secure the state? Secure the 90% or 95%. He's here jumping from platform of Biafra. We know ourselves. Criminal alliance. Go and talk to. Since you're working with Ogekere, no, we USB, we don't need you anymore. If you feel that you're going to get Boroya Gawa na White House, Boroya Gawa. Eba hanga bebe owu na platform ndị Biafra owu na platform ebe anyị na-agbasa ozi ọma anyị ihe ga-abara anyị uru which other people medicine before us ha mere ya they show many country mere ya anyị na-eme na mere ya they pay them but we do to tosha akpa anyị onye ọbụla nọ n'ọrụ nke a bụ onye ruwa onye kpọrọ ibe onye kelu we are all busy to get we know what we are looking for, so don't come and distract us. This criminal alias, don't come here and distract us. Face your front. Onyoshi, face your front. This same thing you have been doing now. Here and there. Modern global are chogging. You are now on your own.
It has been sacked.
All the people he went to lobby for. One day, the same spirit with Adocho.
That is the same thing they did to people of Eritrea. This Elias is working against the government of Eritrea.
When someone will come, okay, the meeting you had with our DPM after our declaration, you saw it openly. Are you not the one that said those things? Those strategies now, since you're no longer with USB, you don't believe in USB. Have you put those things in place with Okengre, Onyoshi? Have you put it in place with him?
Let him go and help, like you said.
Can you guys?
Let him go and help Ogenkere to secure 90%.
That is what I said.
Yes, excellent.
That's what I said. If he wants it, let him go there and help him. I thank God that they are also fighting for the freedom. I want them to what if your enemy brings this Biafra for you? Will you accept it? He said yes, he will. We are here for the freedom. If his enemy brings it, he will embrace his enemy and say, let's go home and settle.
The same thing with Ogenkere.
Yes. Told them, you and those Ogenkere. Yes. I'm telling you, you and those Ogenkere should go and secure that 95 or 90% of our land. We settle at home. In time be there, you're not doing anything, you're just distracting people. Look at you, jumping from one platform to another. Jumping from one platform to another to commit nuisance. Even when I saw this guy, I don't know social media, now I battle with the zoo. Now zoo. I saw this guy. I was asking in the early stage. So his work is to go to America and talk to us. Don't come and fight these people. Okay, look at his tweet. Yeah, tweet here. You cannot see him tag any well-meaning people. You can see it. He said, "Yeah, tag
those that are paying him, giving him money."
Imagine. And people are still listening to them. I saw what do you mean?
And what about the world has had it here in this 21st century that the law for you to become a sovereignty is flexible. That they have moved away from military. They move away from controlling 100% of the territory before you become a sovereignty. They move it into that once you have a population of people, once you have defined territory, once you have government that is effective, once you have your capacity to enter into agreement that you are a sovereignty, the matter has closed. And from sovereignty, he run away, he starts joining to controlling it. When I come to issue of controlling, when they prove to you that you don't need to control your territory 1%, They give us example of Somaliland that they control them 100%, but nobody recognized them until 2026, 2025, December 26, when Israel broke that cage for them and they become a country. So we are not in panic because we know what the world is moving into. There is new law that was implemented 2026 January 5. This law starts working. You are no longer in the era of military before you become a sovereignty. They said the old time of the colonial master has gone. That in this 21st century era that we are there. So this is how it happens.
That's it. People don't want to follow the present. They thought that that thing that have been hiding on that in books that we will not see. When everyone has from heart here now, we are there. I know there now because we know what we want. We are there now to dig it out. We have people. We are everywhere. So enough is enough. My genuine fellow Biafrans. And that thing is this: if you really need something and you believe in that thing you need, you want. One day we have to stand up from the crowd. Nobody should go and apply for that ID card. That is the thing now. If you accept that you believed that we are not a nation, go and apply for that ID card. Note, if you don't have that ID card, there is no way you can apply for the driving license or the international passport. Once it's ready.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Once it's ready. The access for you to get those things, to get these documents now is this ID card, because it is the same thing that is inside there. And when you also the ID difference, when you can travel with this, about the sugar stamp. Now here, all the same information now and everything. Biafrans, I see here some people saying that the price is too much. I approach somewhere, I'm going to cook the price is too much. See, if you really know what you want. Good thing. Nagalono, as a better soup, that money kill them. You have to start. I know it's not gonna be like that at the end of the day. But what we do, we need that money. We need money to do other things. We have so many things. Even sometimes I said, man, I don't really know how our government is doing this. They are really trying. Our DPM is investing massively on this particular freedom. Honestly, God will surely reward her and all the cabinet members. So my people, support our freedom. Support our freedom. We are already gone.
Honestly.
Now, I saw a news, IPOB, the so-called IPOB meeting with Odudua, coming, signing a memorandum of understanding to leave Nigeria. This is what they have been shouting for a decade. Every time they shout, America, come and give us our freedom.
Come and give us our freedom. Obatobi signed to Sunday.
Yeah. So, your freedom, nobody will give you your freedom. Your freedom is in your hand.
We have taken our freedom.
Remember, they say it's not giving. It is fighting. We are fighting for freedom, and we have taken it. Anybody that is still shouting Biafra, that never recognized USB, that means Thank you so much, my brother, for the good work.
Thank you.
We will continue to push.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Yes, is here for us. It's things that we must do. What are those things? The things that leads to what our organization is what we have to do at this stage that we are into. Only taking this ID card, if you spend $100 to achieve this ID card, and the ID card, because of your contribution through the ID card, leads to our recognition. Sorry, do you think that you spend too much? The truth remains that you did not spend too much. Honestly, it might, but look at the happiness and what it's bringing for you. That is from where you, as a Biafran, has to focus. That is where you, as a Biafran, has to look at. Look at the gain, do not look at the lose. Look at the benefit, do not look at what you will not look at the benefit and look at if you did not do it, the outside of it. So you said the benefit is more than the $100. The recognition. If over 10,000 Biafrans achieve over 10 million, over 10,000 achieve this ID card. We are already a nation. You had it here clearly. I want to play it more once again for you, so you will understand it clearly. The importance of this ID card. That is not just an ID card. It's ID card of your total freedom of recognition. That is what it simply means.
In international law, the act of a citizen holding and using an ID card from a newly declared country is more than just a personal choice. It is a legal brick in the wall of statehood. While the ID might not be accepted at an airport immediately, its importance lies in the Montevideo Convention, 1933, which defines what makes a state. 1. Establishing a permanent population. Under international law, you cannot have a state without a population. The legal proof, an ID card, serves as the primary evidence that a group of people has a genuine link to the new territory. The citizen's role. When citizens take these IDs, they are legally declaring themselves as inhabitants of the new state rather than the old one. If 10 million people hold an ID, the international community cannot argue that the new state is just a fantasy or a small group of rebels.
Do you see why we have to take this ID card? There is 2 things. There is 3 things, 4, 5, 6, only in this one particular ID card. When over 10 million Biafrans take this ID card, the international community cannot argue that the new state is just a fantasy or a small group of what? Rebel. Are you hearing it? This is area I want you to go. Hey, man, son, it could have been possible. It would have been possible if I give you, the program was being shared to you before the link before I started, and you know I'm still using my phone, so there is no way I will go in now to get the link. Chai. The only way is after I end the program, then you can stream it live on your page. That is the only way. Please, son, before I started the program, because that is how me and Maz do it. Before I will start the program, I will share the link to him. Then the other time he does it is when I start finishing the program. Then he will stream it on his own page sometimes when he wants to stream the program. That is only the way. For now, it is very, very late. Well, if this is a laptop now, then I will just minimize it and go to the link and send the link out for you. You know, you prepare it before the programs start. I think this is how it's happening. Let me not go kick myself out. The link, is there anywhere I can get the link from? Now I am live. Now I am live. Let me check if there is any way. Let me check if there is any way. The link. How can I do that? Now I'm here. Okay, let's listen to this. Let me check something. Okay, you're already doing that. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, when you listen to this issue of this ID card, anybody who won this ID card, yes, Ijelewan, thank you so much. If you want this ID card at this moment, I ask you to go to S handle, check Dr. Ngozi Arabez, the DPM. So you from her S handle, you will see the link. Then I also said, if you want the link on next time, if I think if I'm coming, I will try to pin the link on my comment on my comment section. Then also, if you also want the link, I have it, but it's only I share it through WhatsApp to those who have my WhatsApp number. Because I remember I have given it to many people through WhatsApp, and they said they have done it already. So please, I urge you to go to our DPM handle, the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Arabeze. From there, you can get the link very easily. So this ID card is very important. If you are not taking the ID card and you believe in USB, you are what? Disobedient citizen. You are what? Disobedient citizen. Moreover, those in abroad, Those in diaspora, you are the one I'm talking to, not those in the homeland. Because let's what happened in our self-referendum vote is about to repeat. In our self-referendum vote, those in the homeland voted more than those in diaspora. Go and check. I told you said it openly. That those, and when it's come to that, the people of Odimegu voted highest. The state of people of Odimegu voted highest in the self-referendum vote. So let you who is in the diaspora, who believe in USB, try. Because you having this ID card, we are over 10 million in abroad. Even those in abroad who believe in USB, those that are not talking, those that their mind is there. You taking this ID card is leading to what? One major thing that we are looking for. What is that thing? Recognition. When you look at the way they describe it, if 10 million people hold an ID card, the international community cannot argue that the new state is just a fantasy or a small group of rebels. Do you see why this ID card is very important? Let's continue.
2. Declaratory theory versus constitutive theory. There are two main ways a country becomes real in international law. Declaratory theory. This says a state exists the moment it meets the criteria: population, territory, government.
Now, for those who are asking for sovereignty, do you hear it? The same thing attached to this ID card. The ID card. Once the new state met up this criteria, population, territory, government, these three things is what this ID card also proves. It proves there is people of Biafra that we have population. One. We also have what? Identifying territory. We also have government. Do we not have a government? The government has issued the ID card through those links for us to have it. And once you fill, you got your own. So please, people of Biafra, under USB, even our enemies, they are taken. The enemies of the USB, they are the one, moreover, fill online. They fill the form more than another person. Brother, I don't have anyhow I can record it on my own. It's like someone like who is listening and might use the other phone to record the message and send it to any group, or by sharing. That is why when you guys said share the program, even if it was not subscribed on the page, I don't care. What matters most to me is to you to share the program so others will hear the program, like the program. That is what matters to me. This one you're laughing at us. What happened? Hope we are safe. So for you to not be disobedient citizens of USB, you must go and take the ID card. The ID card work for three things that leads that we are a sovereignty. What are those three things? They are what? Population, territory, government. This is four things that are very, very important to prove that we are a sovereign state. And that is also how it helps you in abroad. When you get in trouble, this, even if on the level of deportation camp, this ID card can save you. Those on the homeland, the government said, hold on, by next month, February, the link for you to register is coming. The link for those in the homeland to register, the link is coming. So just be patient, one step at a time. Now, those in the diaspora, if you are not taking this ID card, you are purposely delaying our recognition. Because all these things are the documents that we have to present to the international global community. These are part of the things that we must present to prove that we are sovereign. If the government is running speed, why can't we join them to run the speed? We are on the auxiliary gear. We have above autopilot. So that is why we have to take the ID card. Taking the ID card is also facilitating the movement of recognition. When this ID card has almost 6 or 5 criteria, then you will know the importance of it. That is why they told us in the beginning here that any of us who are holding this document is not just a document. He said it is what? It is a legal brick in the wall of the stakehold by international legal standard. And also, you had me here always mention about Montevideo Convention, where this argument lies on it right now. They said also that you are also fulfilling those criteria. Yes, why? Is ID card is very important, both the people and for our recognition. Fast. Yes, that is why we all must put hand on this to make sure that you had this from those that are giving recognition. You had it from those that are giving us what recognition. That's what happens, that we need ID card. It's part of the things we are going to present to prove that there is a new country, that there is a government, that there is a population, that there is territory. Human being has territory. That is why it's very important on this stage. Please, take the ID card for us to go home.
This view, recognition by others, is not required for the state to be legal. How the ID helps. The ID card is the administrative proof that the government is actually governing. It shows the world that the state is functional and organized. 3. Protecting human rights and legal identity. The United Nations.
Let me repeat this place for you. How the ID card help? The ID card is the administrative proof that the government is actually governing. It shows the world that the state is functioning and organized. It shows what that the state is functioning and there is organized. USB, are we not well organized? USB, is it not well organized? Because it's only when you're organized you can issue this ID card. So look at this ID card, the importance of the ID card. If the importance of this ID card is on this level, what is holding us? When we are not taking, we are also delaying the government, we are also delaying ourselves. When you go into farm, you refuse to work fast and leave. The more you are using eyes to look at the farm, the same way the farm is using eyes to look at you. But when you bed down, start doing the job, the world moves, you move. That is why we don't have to fall back. That is why we don't have to wait. Please, under USB, if you know you are obedient citizen, try. Even if you don't have, beg someone you think that can help you to achieve it. That is also I said, Biafrans that have done their own. You can come on the fundraising and said, I want to give to 5 people $500. It can also help. Because honestly, there is those in that, but $100 is too much for them. Or that is the truth. But because of the benefit, because of what will triggers our going home, then it doesn't matter. The sacrifice is what we are looking for. So sacrifice by supporting, sacrifice by doing what? By going to register this document. Going to do what? Fill your form, to take your ID card, to prove to the world that there is a population, there is a territory, there is government.
And Sustainable Development Goal 16.9 aims to provide legal identity for all. The argument: if a citizen's original country has abandoned them or they have renounced it, they risk becoming stateless. The ID as a shield. International law hates legal vacuums. By carrying an ID from the new government, citizens claim their right to a legal identity. Even if a foreign court doesn't recognize the country, they may recognize the ID as a valid record of the person's name, birth, and existence for humanitarian reasons.
Are you listening?
4. Consular protection and de facto rights. Even without formal recognition, many countries allow representative offices, informal embassies. Identity verification. If a citizen is in trouble abroad, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the new country can only help if they can verify the person is a citizen.
Are you listening? That's why I told you, at this stage, Nigeria has been tagged a country of particular concern. Even if by any means you enter in the hands of the country where you are, there is problem between the immigration, even if you are about to be deported, if you present this ID card, because the ID card carries the data of the USB, carries your data, proving why a lot of anything that they want to know about you is in there. So nobody will deport you. And also, that is how we are giving what? If citizens is in trouble in abroad, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the new country can only help if they can verify the person is a citizen of the new country. Do we not have Minister of Foreign Affairs? Do we not have the Minister of Foreign Affairs? We have it. So then you're giving him job to do. In that country where you are, immediately they saw this ID card in your hand and the proving, they will contact the Minister of Foreign Affairs and ask why. From there, it can help you. Many people have been today, they wanted to deport them but this ID card is what helped them to stay where they are today. Do you also know that this ID card is equivalent of 50% automatic asylum to you? That nobody will deport down to Nigeria because of what is going on there. Because Nigeria has been tagged a country of particular concern. Nigeria, their politicians' passport or visa has been banned from America and other countries in the world. Do you see why you need to take this ID card? If you beg someone to help you, come you get zuri ya beg to get what you want to go and steal. Instead of you to be deported, why can't you beg someone, a Biafran, to help you out? And so I also call on our brothers who are richer more than every other person. Please help. You can come on the fundraising that you want 5 people, their names, that you will pay for them. You are helping out for us to get recognition. That's supposed to be your joy. This is the joy that you are doing that. That is why it's very good. All our words sacrifice for us to go home.
The ID card is the tool that allows the government in exile to provide consular assistance. It tells the host country, this person belongs to us, and we are responsible for them.
Are you hearing it? Now it becomes the ID card gives a room. You not be a private matter anymore. It becomes the case between government and the government. For you that is asking for sovereignty. When the government of a new country can argue that this person is our citizens and they are going to be respect under the international law of having a government in exile and the citizens. That is the same law that protects government in exile will now protect you, that nobody will deport you in a country where you will go and die. Understand this clearly.
Summary table. The ID card's power. Legal concept. Importance of the ID card. Sovereignty. Proves the government has the consent of the government.
Important of this ID card. Sovereignty. When you're taking it, you are making you sovereign to become authentic in the eyes of the world. That is why you need to take this ID card. Once now you are in diaspora, that this ID card is only for us. Try and have your own.
Statehood. Satisfies the permanent population requirement of the Montevideo Convention. Administration. Shows the world the government is capable of maintaining a database and civil registry. Human rights. Prevents statelessness by providing a documented legal identity. What this means for you. By obtaining and holding these documents, citizens are participating in a quote, census of loyalty. This data is the most powerful weapon a Minister of Foreign Affairs has when they go to lobby international bodies. They don't just say we want a country, they say we already have one, and here is the proof of the millions who belong to it. Would you like me to draft a summary of how citizens can safely use these documents in everyday life to build de facto recognition?
I hope you listen carefully. I hope you get it right. What it means for you to have this ID card. If you want to get the ID card, like I said, go on S handle, check Dr. Ngozi Orabeze. You will see her. Then go down through her page on S. Then you will see the link. Then from there, you will take the link, fill the link, then pay your $100. Then the ID card your own will be getting ready. Very soon you grab your ID card. That is why it's very important. Look at the benefit of this ID card. If you're in diaspora, if you are there, no paper, This ID card is something that gives you 50% automatic asylum, because you will not be deported and you will not be in prison. They will put you where you're supposed to be, while we all are waiting for going home once the solution comes. That is why we must do everything to get this ID card as part of our support to our government, as part of our support to help them to do more work. Please. Oji onwe ya n'ala, oji dike na ji onwe ya ọla. Onye ọbụla nwudere dike na jide dike n'ala, ịha dike iwe enwe ike, ma ọ bụrụ na ịhara dike ma nlakwa. So that is why we must take our ID card for us to go, for no more delay. For us to go and no more what? Delay. It is very important. It is very, you can see it here. Remember that our line is still open for phone call. The number +97333613337. That is number to call in case if you want to contribute on this program. You can call us on that number. I know why I want to repeat it for the last time again. The voice. Listen to this document very well. I pulled this out from Montevideo Convention, because this Montevideo Convention carries everything we need to know. When our passport is coming out, also there is under there.
In international law, the act of a citizen holding and using an ID card from a newly declared country is more than just a personal choice. It is a legal brick in the wall of statehood. While the ID might not be accepted at an airport immediately, its importance lies in the Montevideo Convention, 1933, which defines what makes a state. 1. Establishing a permanent population. Under international law, you cannot have a state without a population. The legal proof, an ID card, serves as the primary evidence that a group of people has a genuine link to the new territory. The citizen's role. When citizens take these IDs, they are legally declaring themselves as inhabitants of the new state rather than the old one. If 10 million people hold an ID, the international community cannot argue that the new state is just a fantasy or a small group of rebels. 2. Declaratory theory versus constitutive theory. There are two main ways a country becomes real in international law. Declaratory theory. This says a state exists the moment it meets the criteria: population, territory, government. In this view, recognition by others is not required for the state to be legal. How the ID helps. The ID card is the administrative proof that the government is actually governing. It shows the world that the state is functional and organized. 3. Protecting human rights and legal identity. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 16.9 aims to provide legal identity for all. The argument: if a citizen's original country has abandoned them or they have renounced it, they risk becoming stateless. The ID as a shield. International law hates legal vacuums. By carrying an ID from the new government, citizens claim their right to a legal identity. Even if a foreign court doesn't recognize the country, they may recognize the ID as a valid record of the person's name, birth, and existence for humanitarian reasons. 4. Consular protection and de facto rights. Even without formal recognition, many countries allow representative offices, informal embassies. Identity verification. If a citizen is in trouble abroad, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the new country can only help if they can verify the person is a citizen. The ID card is the tool that allows the government in exile to provide consular assistance. It tells the host country, this person belongs to us, and we are responsible for them. Summary table. The ID card's power. Legal concept. Importance of the ID card. Sovereignty. Proves the government has the consent of the governed. Statehood. Satisfies the permanent population requirement of the Montevideo Convention. Administration. Shows the world the government is capable of maintaining a database and civil registry. Human rights. Prevents statelessness by providing a documented legal identity. What this means for you. By obtaining and holding these documents, citizens are participating in a quote-unquote census of loyalty. This data is the most powerful weapon a Minister of Foreign Affairs has when they go to lobby international bodies. They don't just say we want a country, they say we already have one, and here is the proof of the millions who belong to it. Would you like me to draft a summary of how citizens can safely use these documents in everyday life to build de facto recognition?
I hope you are listening. I hope you can see the importance of this ID card. Please, if you never like the program, please, I urge you to like. If it is your first time, there is a 3 dot on your right hand side of your screen. Just click on that 3 dot, it will open, you will see like and share. Please, that is all you need to do for this program to reach every Biafrans anywhere they are, so they can be able to listen. Share in some group where you are, even if you mean cutting the program to only the voice, the audio voice to play. Do that. Let the message go viral, please, because our people need to know the importance of this document. There is someone this document can save tomorrow. Yes, so Jelle Wine, good afternoon from here.
Good afternoon, Chino.
Happy
Hang
Sunday.
on, hang on. Okay, close that door. Hello?
Hello,
Sorry,
you are
Biko.
coming out here. Yeah, we understand.
Yeah, Chino, good afternoon from my
Good
side.
afternoon. Good afternoon. You're welcome.
Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, dear friends. One love, my people. Chino, honestly, this particular document you are treating today, I think you have done this before, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I just half of it.
Because I remember there was a time I called for this particular ideas as okay, yeah. Okay, no, I think it was during the time of election. Yeah, we talked about it, and it's related to that election as well.
Yes.
It's related to that election. The most important thing, the line that got me was the place. In fact, two places. One was the place the document says the ID card is a proof to the international body that these people are not asking to have a country. They already have one.
One, yes.
They already have one. Because the ID card, the more we are applying and taking this ID card, the population is recording. And going for this tendering letter to places, to countries or places we want them to recognize us, we will also be tendering this particular population of people already have their ID, because now it's like the people that already have their ID card are the population that says, yes, we belong to this nation, new nation.
Yeah.
We belong to this new nation. These are the population that is saying, yes, we belong to this nation. And this is the population that they will look at. If we are about 10 million now, they will look at 10 million already said we have a nation. It's a proof. It's a very authentic, very, very important. Now people apply for this. Honestly, if you can think deep and make meaning out of this thing you are hearing here today, you will know that after listening to this, if you don't have money yet, you will start saving for that.
Honestly.
And if you have the money, you start applying immediately. That is if you are genuinely in for this freedom we are talking about. Telling you. And another one that got my interest is where the document says the ID card will prove, although Hanine is all of them are just connected.
Yeah.
The ID card proves that these people are actually governing it's not a mere joke. It's not by just saying it.
That is not fantasy. It's not a small group of rebels.
That's the word they use. Yes. They are really, really, really in to govern themselves. That is what it means, that the government is actually working. Because Kendi ID is not the government. It shows that the government is at work. The government is at work and they are really working. If you go how this ID card is even sabotage if you are not applying. Yes.
Look
Yes.
look at this word. This data is the most powerful weapon a minister of information, a minister of foreign affairs has when they are going to lobby international body.
Lobby.
They don't just say
Bam.
we want a country. They say we already have
They
one.
already have one. Yes. Yes.
And it's also
a
said,
very,
and here is the proof of millions who belongs to this new country.
that is the population.
That is the population.
This is like you are going there to tell them this is the population that says yes, we have this mandate. We already have country, and we want you to recognize us to continue from where we stopped.
And look at this place. If you are in diaspora and you have a problem and you identified as citizens of the new country, that you are giving the Minister of Affairs a job to prove that this person belongs to this government of the new country.
Thank you so much. I forgot that. That's another part. Yes, I said two. That is actually three. This particular one now, the coco for the people in diaspora. People in diaspora, anywhere you, even in African countries, so long as you're not in Nigeria or in Biafra land, this particular place, you have to take it seriously, honestly. Because if peradventure you enter into any kind of trouble, that ID card will give our government
the power,
the authority,
to intervene in your matter,
to come for you, for your rescue, to intervene. And that country will never say no, because that ID card have given them the proof, have shown the proof that this is you, and they cannot recognize this ID card, and they can recognize you as their own. You are their matter now. You are their matter.
And there is one that I want to chip in as before you said. There's even I heard the other time. That was the day you called when we said that also the Biafran people that are in diaspora that are giving birth to a child this time around can also giving them birth depend on Biafran government by issue birth certificates to you in abroad.
Oh,
you hear that? So when you deliver the child, you contact US government. They will issue birth certificate for your child. Automatically, he becomes yes.
Yes, you're making. But this particular thing now is something that should come from our government as well.
You know, some of information is what they. If you know how deep I go on my research, that I take my time, go deep to and so what I normally do is that I know after the program, maybe I will forward it to the link. I normally used to send it to them. The ones I send something,
they really need to make that announcement as well, because people that give birth since that time we declare,
yes,
they can be getting their birth certificate.
Yes,
I don't know if they have a site for that one as well. They should be applying for birth certificate and issuing birth certificate to them as well.
All of them, all these things leads to recognition very fast. All of them. The important of it is that all these things is that we are helping the government also for them to be recognized in the international community. It's very, very important.
Because this is actually what we can do together.
Yes. Even they said, even though that some courts or some country might not recognize it, but they have to recognize ID card as the valid record of personal name and everything that surrenders a name of a human being, that you are from this country. The court will accept you. This is your ID card of who you are. Once the court accepted it, that simply means the recognition starts from somewhere. Any court that recognizes you, that identify you as a Biafran under USB, simply means you are citizen of the United States of Biafra. So the country also know that Biafra is a country. Yes, that Biafra is a country. That is
recognition, of course.
It's recognition.
Yes, that is recognition, of course. It's part of it. So it's actually good that our people should take this very seriously, honestly. we will not leave this thing to our government alone. There are some things we have to partake in
Sacrifice.
that will fasten this recognition.
Yes. Now that the government are showing us those things to prove that we are obedient citizens by the law of the UA, we have to channel our strength towards that, because it's going to help us to go home quickly.
Yeah, because only who knows that those people that have our declaration document on their desk, maybe they're actually looking at this population thing now, because here they said the ID card shows the population of people that says, yes, we are not looking for a country, we already have one.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So maybe that's what they are looking at before they can give that recognition signature. I'm telling you.
So we must do
it's
something.
Actually very important.
Yes, we must do something.
It's very important.
For those that are asking for the link, I look for University of Biafra website. Go in there. The link is there. The link is everywhere. The link is not in the hiding. It's in the open place. Just take your time to find it. Then everything will be fine. We are going home. Go on.
So some of our people that are in different countries that
yes.
Very important. You make this thing now, hold it.
Because the ID card is 50% giving you asylum under USB.
Of course.
Because they said that with that ID card, they are not going to deport you in that country that you have denied. Because they can't be, because you was been arrested with ID card of USB. Go on.
Especially now, this Biafra and Nigeria thing is all over, is in the news.
Yes.
Global is in the global news now. Nobody will now say that they don't know about Biafra thing, about the history of Biafra, about the buying of Biafra by Nigeria now. So having that ID card have already given you refuge.
Refuge,
that particular place.
Yes, you are.
Despite
me,
so
this one nobody this ID card.
Yes. Yes.
Look at only one ID card that has only 6 things. So we don't have to waste time.
Imagine.
Only ID card.
A lot. A lot. That's the importance. Yeah.
That is it. So we have to. We have to. Because our time that we are into is the time that we have to do everything that we can to make sure that we achieve this recognition very fast. We are not going to stay like people of Somaliland over 34 years. We need it the way we want. Is in our hand. This movement is in our hand. They said maximum number. Do you know that if only those in the diaspora have 5 million, it triggers it. They give 10 million. That if 10 million of the citizens,
maximum is what?
Yes, maximum 10 million people. Maximum 10 million. Maximum.
And you can imagine if we are talking, we'll be saying over 50 million
Biafrans
people
voted.
Over people million Biafrans voted to opt out from Nigeria. Then an amazing ID card, where are they? Not even up to 10 million can even apply for their ID. When they pay for not the questionable. So please, the earlier the better. I don't know. Some people are still having double mind. Is this thing going to work? One day, this is collective teamwork. If it's possible for our government to do this ID for everybody, they would have done it. But it's not possible. It's not possible. So this is not something we will leave for the government to do. This thing must come from us individually. It must definitely come from us.
Let me go on. Let me do something and show Biafrans. Just go on. I want to show them something.
Yeah. So Biafrans, this is one of the things that this is the part. This is the part that will definitely come from us, not from government at all. Now, when you sit down there and be asking, what is the government of the Ababeze doing? Now, you can see that this particular place now, this particular part we are reading, that says that ID card has these 6 important things that it will do for us to gain permission.
And into that 6, so 4 is for you, 2 is for the government.
For your benefit, for your own good.
For your own good. Yes, look at my hand here if you are watching me. This is USB document papers. This is 26 page for me because of my position. So this is my page. When I went to go and do this in photocopy, the India guy that photocopy asked me, how do I get this document? That this document is too authentic and it's too original. That the document is authentic, is original document. I said, that is my country. That is what we are going to give to do that. I now start explaining to him why I have this. He said, wow, that is going to be one of the best countries with quality things. Only this in my hand, only this. Then think of what the ID card is going to do for you. Think of it. So look at this document. For me, as slicing head.
That document, is what they
from government because I'm liaising head. This is my document. My contract with USB government.
Yeah.
Look at only for camera on my. You can see it clearly. I said the person that did this asked me now that this thing is authentic, it's original. That is when I know that because of this our ID card.
It's an inside field.
So the government is giving us authentic. Let us do our own by receiving them. Just little money. Everything is all about sacrifice, my people. We must continue. We must. The time we are into, it's no longer time to be afraid. If you know the exact meaning of government in exile, oh my people, you will know that we have all of us has been saved. That nobody can intimidate us anymore, or nobody can do us anyhow anymore. The time has gone. The time has gone. So let us continue. Support our government. Do the needful.
Continue.
Can you rapport the government?
I consider this particular place that must come from us.
From us.
Had it been is going to come from the government will do it, honestly.
Yes.
But this particular one, it's very impossible that the government will do it. This is what the part that we should do.
This is our own
so
part.
let us rush. Let us give that make traffic on that site.
Let us give them. Let us give them 10,000 ID card.
Exactly. So we really need to partake in this. Not everything on GC can do.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. So, my people, we are discussing why you need to have this ID card. The ID card serves you in abroad where you are also. Do you know there is area you will present Nigeria passport or ID card, you will not pass. But with this ID card from the USB, you will pass. Because Nigeria document, anything about Nigeria now is on a particular consign. There is red signal on Nigeria. ID card of USB, there is no red signal. It's not a signal. There is nothing like red signal in the USB ID card. But Nigeria, with the present happening, you can see what it is. That is why it is very, very imperative at this stage, go and take this ID card. Support. The one that we have to do for the government, let us do it. Let us give them 10,000 ID card. Then you see how the thing will triggers recognition. That is why these things are very important at this stage that we are into. Do not hold on. Do not listen to anything. Listen to things that we benefit the movement that we are into. Let us do it in our own way. Let us support our government because this is our government. This is our own country. If you love this country, like what we are showing, let us do what? Give them 10,000 votes, 10,000 ID card. The matter closes, and the world will know that we are more serious. Do that to prove how serious you are. The government is not presenting fake; they are original. So you join the moving trend to accomplish this particular movement that we are into. Please, my people. Please, my people. Do not be there and be talking. Do not be there and have a double mind. What the government is doing is what the only people that want you to go home is doing, not all this shenanigans you are hearing. Not all these things that people are telling on social media. Those ones go nowhere at this 21st century. There is many things to do for us to achieve recognition. One of them is you taking this ID card. It's one of them. Countries can organize this ID card in many countries. You hear our people from France, you hear from Japan, you hear our people from Iceland. They are talking the benefits of this ID card. The ID card gives you 50% refugee, gives you 50% asylum. Check if you are listening. That is why I try to use this time to let us talk very hard on this issue of ID card. You can see that it is very, very important. You are also, when you're taking this ID card, if anything happens, you also giving the office of Minister of Foreign Affairs work to do. Give them work. Take the ID card. Register for you, fill your form online. You don't need to go to any office. In your room on your phone, you can do that. Instead of that link, it will bring everything. You put who you are there. Yes, like I said, those in the Biafran, very soon, the government is preparing for you. By February, then those in the homeland will start their own. So just calm down. One step at a time. Now the step is on the head of those that are in diaspora, in abroad. Let them do what? Take this ID card. That is what I want them to take. Because you can see how important it is. These are the things that will lead to us to go home. Over 10 million Biafrans. Please, let us do the needful. Please like and share as you join us. Please like and share the program because it is our time. Let me give you some countries in the world that without recognition, their passport, their ID card is working. This is the one we're going to use to close the program. Listen to this.
When a government in exile, like the United States of Biafra, issues ID cards and passports, the primary goal is to build institutional facts. While these documents might not immediately allow for visa-free travel to London or New York, the mass adoption of them by citizens is a powerful tool for seeking recognition. Here is how citizens holding these documents can help the government in exile achieve international standing. 1. Proving a permanent population. Under the Montevideo Convention, one of the 4 essential criteria for a state is a, quote, permanent population. The logic: if millions of people voluntarily register for a new country's ID, it proves to the UN and foreign governments that the government in exile isn't just a small group of leaders, it is a legitimate representative of a massive, organized body of people. Citizen action. By taking the ID, citizens provide the government with a verified census, which the Minister of Foreign Affairs can use as data to show world leaders, we represent X million people who have formally renounced their old identity for this one. 2. Challenging international legibility. International law often has to deal with the reality on the ground. When thousands of people begin presenting a specific document at borders, or in legal settings, the necessity argument. If citizens use these IDs for private contracts, banking, where allowed, or local identification, it creates a legal reality that foreign courts may eventually have to recognize for the sake of justice and commerce. Consular pressure. If citizens living abroad, the diaspora, use these IDs to organize, it forces the host country's local government to interact with the government in exile's representative offices to verify who these people are. 3. Financial sovereignty, the state budget. Passports and ID cards are rarely free. Funding the lobby. The fees paid by citizens for these documents act as a voluntary tax. This state revenue is what allows the Minister of Foreign Affairs to hire the high-level lobbyists mentioned earlier. Economic footprint. If the government in exile uses a digital currency or banking system linked to these IDs, it builds an independent economy that is harder for the original state to shut down. 4. Normalizing the brand. Recognition is often a psychological game of normalization. Visibility. When citizens post their new passports on social media or use them in public forums, it shifts the global narrative from rebel group to state in waiting. Human rights claims. If a citizen is arrested or faces trouble and presents their new ID, it allows the government in exile to attempt diplomatic protection. Even if the host country rejects the passport, the attempt to provide protection is recorded in international human rights reports. Comparison. Why the ID matters. Action. Impact on recognition. Protesting. Shows anger/desire, often temporary. Taking an ID card. Shows administration. Creates a permanent record of citizenship. Using a passport. Forces a foreign official to either accept or explicitly deny a sovereign document.
I hope you, when you are listening to something, try to get the meaning. If only this ID card carries this weight, you can see that those are foolishing themselves is what? There is area that I want us to go in. For those who are asking us, hey, who organize you? From where am I going to travel? Listen, I am here to give you the bitter truth. So you will know your stand. You will know what the government is doing for you. Then you will know why you have to support this government. Listen. Now see the risk for the citizens. Listen.
Potential risks for citizens. It is important to be candid. Using a non-recognized passport can be risky. Travel. Most airlines will not allow boarding with a non-ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, recognized passport unless there is a specific bilateral agreement, like Russia and Abkhazia.
Like Russia and Abkhazia, they have agreement. For now, this Abkhazia is a country. Nobody has recognized them. But they have solid agreement with Russia. They are making use of their passports. They are making use of their ID card whenever they are moving to line of Russia. No, you say you are from where? Okay. I don't know how to contact you to ask to find out where you're from, Old Anambra. But can you explain detail? I don't know. Maybe if you can contact me on my WhatsApp, then we can go through. I can help you the way I help others to find their state. So to know where you are from, whether is it from Odimegu, Old Amambla, or from Omambla or from Ikemba. Between these three states, you are one of them, but we'll find out later. I will ask questions when I'm here tomorrow morning on my next program. Then if your comment comes in, I will find it. I will tell you your state. That's what I'll find it out for you.
Legal. In the home country, carrying such an ID might be viewed as an act of treason or secessionism. Would you like me to look into how other unrecognized states, like Somaliland or Kosovo, successfully got their travel documents accepted by third-party countries?
Okay, look at it here. You are from Odimegu. Your state is Odimegu State. This is Obi. Your state is from where? From Odimegu. My number is in social. My number is, let me call it for you. Just get ready. That is the number I use to run this program. The number is in social media. The number is +97 33 60 51 337. That is my number. I repeat again, +9 7 33 60 51 337. That is the number you can call. You can get me at all time. You can send a message, then in my own time I will reply you. That is the number. Those that are calling here, that is the number they are calling to get me to put their own suggestion in the program. There is area I want us to look into. They give us an example of one country, Abkhazia. This is a country. This is a country. But they lack recognition with their passport, with their ID card. But almighty Russia recognize them. Almighty Russia do what? Recognize them. Their passport, they can use it to travel from Russia to Russia. And any other countries that are very dearly to Russia might allow them. They call it what? Humanitarian movement. They say that this passport and ID card is not recognized by the UN, but it does not stop the people from moving. People are moving. People are doing things. Depends on the agreement you have with those countries that want you to be making movements, to participating in the humanitarian movement. These are the things. Listen, let's play it again. When I do my research, I will put that name USB to ask what is something like this. So I will know my stand. Then I will know what the government is doing, if they are going on the right track or they are just there. But when after all this research, I find out that, oh, we are 100% on the right track. And what they are doing is what will take us home.
When a government in exile, like the United States of Biafra, issues ID cards and passports, the primary goal is to build institutional facts. While these documents might not immediately allow for visa-free travel to London or New York, the mass adoption of them by citizens is a powerful tool for seeking recognition.
Now, take the area of what? Seeking for what? Recognition. The passport, the ID card, all this is triggers what? Recognition. Because a child that goes to school that will take first position, what will happen? That child will have no less than 11 textbooks. And he will read those textbooks. Then before he will pass. If he is not taking first position without there is no way he can take, and there is no way he can be recognized as a first person in the class without having things that proving it. So for us to grant recognition, these are the more criteria we need to go. Taking ID card. When passport comes, you know that you will not have passport without having this ID card, because what is having an ID card is what they will use to do the passport for you. This is how important it is. They have given us an example of countries. Somaliland, the Kosovo, the Northern Cyprus, many of them. They are a country. But they pass this criteria we are passing through today. Many of them has never achieved even their own. I want you to know that you can see with this that the government are leading us in a way of going home. Don't mind those that are making noise. Their noise cannot do anything.
Here is how citizens holding these documents can help the government in exile achieve international standing. 1.
We are also helping our government to achieve international standing. We are helping them to achieve what? The international standing. It is very important to us at this stage.
Permanent population. Under the Montevideo Convention, one of the 4 essential criteria for a state is a, quote, permanent population. The logic: if millions of people voluntarily register for a new country's ID, it proves to the UN and foreign governments that the government in exile isn't just a small group of leaders, it is a legitimate representative of a massive, organized body of people.
Are you hearing what's supposed to trigger you to do something? Are you hearing why you're supposed to know that your government is doing the right thing? If millions of people register for the new country ID card, it's proof to the UN, foreign government, that the government in exile is not just a small group of leaders. It is legitimate representative of the massive organized body of the people. Do you see the leverage you are giving the government? It's give and take. I'm good, my brother. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Chiwendo, Miku, thank you so much. I can see you. Thank you. Look at the leverage we are giving this government. When you're in the level of this ID card, is proof to the UN and the foreign government. To the UN, foreign government. And this is the UN. We are fighting for them to recognize us. Only you paying $100, fill your form, take your ID card, is what leads to this. When we are here, or you are in your room, you fill this ID card. and you have this ID card, what happens? It says registering for the new country ID card, it proves to the UN and the foreign government that the government in exile isn't just a small group of leaders. It is a legitimate representative of a massive organized body of the people. I hope you are paying attention. Because everything, there is criteria. And look at the criteria of recognition. Well, there's some things, when I had some things after my research, I know why Batoobie said that the road to get Biafra is in the open. It's not a secret something. It is only secret because the world knows that we don't have time to research. But today, the Biafra people are researching, so we are getting everything in order.
It is an action. By taking the ID, citizens provide the government with a verified census, which the Minister of Foreign Affairs can use as data to show world leaders, we represent X million people who have formally renounced their old identity for this one.
Do you see also that having this ID card is proving that we have renounced Nigeria? Then the Foreign Affairs Minister will have something to show to the world that X million people has what? Renounced that we don't want Nigeria. Please look at it and see why it is very imperative that we all do what? Take this ID card. Mommy Flora, good evening from here. Thank you so much. Happy Star. I wish you the best, ma. Thank you.
2. Challenging international legibility. International law often has to deal with the reality on the ground. When thousands of people begin presenting a specific document at borders or in legal settings, the necessity argument. If citizens use these IDs for private contracts, banking, where allowed, or local identification, it creates a legal reality that foreign courts may eventually have to recognize for the sake of justice and commerce.
Are you hear it? For the sake of what? Justice in commerce. Then taking this ID card, then you give the government chance to argue. You can use it to open bank in abroad. This is the only document I have. You can use United States of Biafra ID card to open bank in the world. They will recognize it. That is what you're giving them. That is who you are. This is your identity. Please go and take the ID card for us to get recognition very quickly. You had it here.
Consular pressure. If citizens living abroad, the diaspora, use these IDs to organize, it forces the host country's local government to interact with the government in exile's representative offices to verify who these people are.
Are you hearing it? Now, when you start using it to open bank, do business, do anything that you're doing in abroad where you are living, you are making that country, their government, to interact with the US government through the office of what? The Minister of Foreign Affairs. We have it in the government. We are not that group that has one person. His ATM, his Aten, his secretary, his treasurer, his financial minister, his everything. No, we have a structure of a government. That is why it is important.
3. Financial sovereignty, the state budget. Passports and ID cards are rarely free. Funding the lobby, the fees paid by citizens for these documents act as a voluntary tax.
Are you hearing it? That money you are paying is what? Is a tax. That is where they put it on the international global community. That money that you are paying, they put it on a what? This tax you are paying to your government. Do you see? It's tax that we are paying to United States of Biafra what? Government. So that is why it is very important.
This state revenue is what allows the Minister of Foreign Affairs to hire the high-level lobbyists mentioned earlier.
You see, you'll be asked what's the government doing with the money. Do you know that this money of this document, of this ID card also can use to hire that the government can use to hire lobby if the ID card, because the company that are doing this ID card, they are not doing it free. The government is also paying. The government is also doing what? Paying money for this ID card to come to you. Now that I want to print my document, I do it by myself. I pay money to print it. You tell the government to print it. It's also part of contribution. You have to also contribute. They said that this money for the ID card also, when it's enough of what the government wanted, you can also use it to hire a higher lobby. It's a tax you are paying for the government of the USB. It is very important. We all do that.
Economic footprint. If the government in exile uses a digital currency or banking system linked to these IDs, it builds an independent economy that is harder for the original state to shut down.
Are you hearing it? Because now we're having this ID card. Anything, banco, anything that this government is going to build, they are going to build it based on this ID card. So you can be able to use it anywhere you are. And they say also that Nigeria cannot shut anything that we build with this ID card or open with this ID card. They cannot shut it down. Look at the benefits. The benefit, does it not want us to have this ID card?
4. Normalizing the brand. Recognition is often a psychological game of normalization.
Are you hearing it?
Visibility. When citizens post their new passports on social media or use them in public forums, it shifts the global narrative from rebel group to state in waiting.
Are you hearing it? Why can't we do it? When citizens post their new passport or ID card on social media, or you use them in public functions, it shifts the group narrative from rebel group to a state in waiting, to a sovereign state what in waiting. When we are using our ID card, when we are using it in open places, when we are showcasing to the world we have it, they will know there is a state called what? University of Biafra. They will look for the government. It's also removing us from what? From a rebel group. Have the ID card for you to not to become, to the world stop seeing you as a rebel. When you don't have this ID card, the world sees you as what? As rebel. So take this ID card to remove yourself from there. Nobody can charge you rebel again. Nobody can call you terrorist, criminal, or all manner of names. It has been abolished by only this one ID card. Please, my people, do it for yourself. Do it for yourself.
Human rights claims. If a citizen is arrested or faces trouble and presents their new ID, it allows the government in exile to attempt diplomatic protection.
Are you hearing it? When any of us is being arrested or facing trouble and being persecuted, when you show the ID card, the government of that country that is persecuting you or you have problem from, they will contact what? The exile government of the USB through the office of the Minister of Affairs. Office of the Foreign Minister of Affairs. They will contact him or her. Do you understand it? Do you see why this ID card is very important?
Even if the host country rejects the passport, the attempt to provide protection is recorded in international human rights reports. Comparison. Why the ID matters. Action. Impact on recognition. Protesting. Shows anger/desire, often temporary. Taking an ID card. Shows administration. Creates a permanent record of citizenship. Using a passport. Forces a foreign official to either accept or explicitly deny a sovereign document. Potential risks for citizens. It is important to be candid. Using a non-recognized passport can be risky. Travel. Most airlines will not allow boarding with a non-ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, recognized passport unless there is a specific bilateral agreement, like Russia and Abkhazia. Legal. In the home country, carrying such an ID might be viewed as an act of treason or secessionism.
There is one for you that is asking, who is going to recognize you? Who is this your ID card? Where is it going to work? From where are you going to travel? It depends on agreement between US government and any country that like to. It's not what you think. That is why they give us the example of Russia and Abkhazia. Here, Abkhazia has not been recognized as a country, as a sovereign state, or under international law, or under UN. They are not, but they are a state on their own. They have their sovereignty within themselves. Now, they have an agreement with who? With Russia. Russia allows them. The people of Abkhazia can travel from their state to Russia. It's based on agreement. It is based on what? On agreement. that we had. The same thing with us. That is why we can also, if US government has an agreement with countries like Togo in Africa, if you are in the zoo country, you want to travel, you need to hold the two. They said that the citizens must hold 2 ID card in case. If they do not allow this one, the other one can take you out first. Then if this USB passport, this USB ID card set you free, then you go with it. USB can have agreement with Togo. Look at who it is in Nigeria. Our people are under humanitarian movement. They are under self-determination of their life. So they want to travel from here based on humanitarian law. If the people of Togo agree, now if you want to travel, you have Biafra ID card, you have Biafra passport, then you can travel from Nigeria with Nigeria passport to pass Nigeria border to enter Togo. Immediately you enter Togo, because of the agreement that USB have with Togo or any other country that you can travel from Togo to. Then from Togo, you can book a flight to walk away from the Togo and go to that country because that country will welcome you. Let us mean that from Togo, you are going to Finland. Let us mean that you have agreement with Finland. Once you from the airline from Togo that is going to Finland, we carry you to Finland, and when you go there, you will be welcomed because it is agreement. Your ID card, your passport, easy to be organized when some people never recognize you as a sovereign state. It is possible. And that is how it works. That is why they give us an example. It has happened between Abkhazia and Russia. That is why you will know that the road that the government is towing is the best is the best way that we can achieve recognition very quickly, very fast. Do not panic. We are on the right track. Listen to this as we're concluding.
In international law, the act of a citizen holding and using an ID card from a newly declared country is more than just a personal choice. It is a legal brick in the wall of statehood. While the ID might not be accepted at an airport immediately, its importance lies in the Montevideo Convention, 1933, which defines what makes a state. 1. Establishing a permanent population. Under international law, you cannot have a state without a population. The legal proof, an ID card, serves as the primary evidence that a group of people has a genuine link to the new territory. The citizen's role. When citizens take these IDs, they are legally declaring themselves as inhabitants of the new state rather than the old one. If 10 million people hold an ID, the international community cannot argue that the new state is just a fantasy or a small group of rebels. 2. Declaratory theory versus constitutive theory. There are 2 main ways a country becomes real in international law. Declaratory theory. This says a state exists the moment it meets the criteria: population, territory, government. In this view, recognition by others is not required for the state to be legal. How the ID helps. The ID card is the administrative proof that the government is actually governing. It shows the world that the state is functional and organized. 3. Protecting human rights and legal identity. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 16.9 aims to provide legal identity for all. The argument: if a citizen's original country has abandoned them or they have renounced it, they risk becoming stateless. The ID as a shield. International law hates legal vacuums. By carrying an ID from the new government, citizens claim their right to a legal identity. Even if a foreign court doesn't recognize the country, they may recognize the ID as a valid record of the person's name, birth, and existence for humanitarian reasons. 4. Consular protection and de facto rights. Even without formal recognition, many countries allow representative offices, informal embassies. Identity verification. If a citizen is in trouble abroad, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the new country can only help if they can verify the person is a citizen. The ID card is the tool that allows the government in exile to provide consular assistance. It tells the host country, this person belongs to us, and we are responsible for them. Summary table. The ID card's power. Legal concept. Importance of the ID card. Sovereignty. Proves the government has the consent of the governed. Statehood. Satisfies the permanent population requirement of the Montevideo Convention. Administration. Shows the world the government is capable of maintaining a database and civil registry. Human rights. Prevents statelessness by providing a documented legal identity. What this means for you. By obtaining and holding these documents, citizens are participating in a quote, census of loyalty. This data is the most powerful weapon a Minister of Foreign Affairs has when they go to lobby international bodies. They don't just say we want a country, they say we already have one, and here is the proof of the millions who belong to it. Would you like me to draft a summary of how citizens can safely use these documents in everyday life to build de facto recognition?
Thank you. Tomorrow, we are going to touch this de facto, how we can use this ID card to build de facto government or the further recognition by tomorrow. So today we have done well. I think so. This is 3 hours and going to 30 minutes. I thank those who are here from the beginning till now. Please, my people, share the message. Make it go viral. So people will understand the importance of we having this ID card. That is, the importance of it is that you are helping to the governments to seek recognition very fast for us to grab it. So those in diaspora, let us give this government 10,000 or 10 million what ID card that will prove to the other countries that we are a sovereignty in waiting. Do you understand it? This is how it rose. So do not panic. You are on the right track. Once you stand on the side of United States of Biafra. So I want to thank you all for being here today. Thank you so much, my people. Thank you. Happy Sunday to you all. Please let the message go viral. Go to areas you will hear things that will put you on the right track. Go to Maz, Humble Lion. Go to Maz, Exodus. Go to Maz, Kai Reports. Go to Maz, Ezekuna Son. Go to Ada Simon. Go to Platform Mohammed Simon. These are those who stand. Go to S Handle. Our brother Greg is doing wonderful there. So I thank you all for being here once again. Until we see again tomorrow. For now, have a wonderful Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you so much.